I'm a little rusty on it.
I'll hum it for you.
I'm going to be fine with your jokes, but I'm not sure about Dark Brandon.
All right, how is everyone doing today? Give me 2 seconds. Cool. Oh my goodness, I'm in the wrong spot now. Doesn't matter, I'll deal with it later. Let's do the intro. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you might be watching this. My name is Josh, and welcome to my channel. On here, we talk news, we talk politics, we talk current events, and sometimes we play some scary, spooky video games. It is July 13th, 2023. We are, oh God, what, a week, right? We are a week from the dual releases of Barbie and Oppenheimer. If you're if you're not excited, I think you should be. They both look like excellent movies. But yeah, what's going on in the world today? Right. So we have the SAG-AFTRA joining their writing contemporaries on the picket line, starting today, right? Or no? Yeah. Oh, it'll start immediately tomorrow. I'm sorry. Voting today, though, to go on strike, joining the Writers Guild of America. Love to see it. We're going to take a look at a few of the responses. Yeah, I bet you can bet who we're going to look at a little bit. And then we'll look at a speech from Fran Drescher about the strike. And then after that, want to take a look at, I think it's a bit early to be making really big, what's the word I'm looking for? I think speculative guesses when it comes to the election, but given his what's the word? Rate of accuracy. Tim Pool has apparently begun to the Trump train for 2024, already kind of signaling that Trump's going to be winning in some sort of landslide again. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. After that, want to take a look at the Tucker Carlson Andrew Tate interview. We're just gonna be looking at clips. It is way too long to watch, straight on stream. So not gonna watch like the entire thing, but we'll go over a few choice clips on topics that I thought were kind of interesting. If people have other ones that they could find, this is just what I could find quickly. And then I want to go over. So I've talked about the smart gun a bit, made by BioFire here in sunny Colorado, and I'm kind of curious. Every once in a while I see a few people's different takes on it, and like for me, I'm very supportive of some of like a new technology that can, increase safety for people who think that the current safety options just don't sit with them fully, amongst other things. And it's always options, but I want to take a look at what I'm gonna guess is a less positive endorsement from Warrior Poet Society, a conservative content creator. And then after that, we'll play some spoopy games. Sound good? Cool. Let's get into it. So, you might have heard of screenwriters. They are the people who write the scripts and the jokes and these shows that you and I watch on a daily basis or weekly basis, sometimes depending on what it is. These folks have had their jobs threatened by the kind of structures, the producers of shows, trimming down on the use of writers and leaning a bit into the use of AI to kind of write some of their shows, along with the kind of way that writers end up writing a show. Just kind of had their role, I guess, a bit reduced over the last couple of years. This has led to a reduction in the ability to live off of being a film and television writer, unless you are a big time, unless you're an executive producer. It makes it kind of hard. And right now they are, I believe, 2 months. I could be wrong about that. They are 2 months into their strike right now, which has halted a couple productions. Some have gone through. We all know famously that Deadpool 3 has continued filming, has gone through and continued filming. There's obviously going to be things about that will probably that you've probably heard. I think there's a what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit of a restricted ability to improv, which, not to say that they won't film it. It's just all about what actually gets released. But either way, point is, to go along with this Writers Guild strike, SAG-AFTRA has joined the fray in fighting for the rights of the real, I think, filmmaking body. SAG-AFTRA TV theatrical streaming strike has been ordered effective July 14th at 12:01 a.m. Additional details. Yeah. So, let's take a look at it a little bit, shall we? All right. Hollywood actors are officially... Get out of my way, you stupid paywall. Let's zoom in just a bit here. Let's go dark mode so we can actually see, shall we? Hollywood actors are officially headed to the picket line. Unable to reach a deal with producers, members of the Screen Actors Guild, America's Federation of Television and Radio Artists, will join up with more than 11,000 already striking film and television writers starting at midnight. The failed negotiations with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers means film and television productions featuring actors will immediately halt, essentially shutting down Hollywood. It'll be the first tandem strike in the industry since 1960. All right. We will watch. We are victims here, said Fran Drescher, president of the Actors Union, during a news conference Thursday. We are being victimized by a very greedy entity. I am shocked by the way the people that we have been in business with are treating us. It's disgusting. SAG-AFTRA members are already taking the strike seriously. Oppenheimer actors left the film's London premiere Thursday. Director Christopher Nolan told the crowd that the cast left and are off to write their picket signs. The film opens next week. During the strike, actors will be permitted to promote past projects through conventions, interviews, or panels. This includes any Emmy Award campaigning, nominations for annual award show. Nominations. Oh my God, did I just get lost? Includes any Emmy Award campaigning. Nominations for the annual award show were announced Wednesday, and the ceremony is set to take place September 18th on Fox. Heading into negotiations last month, Hollywood performers were looking to improve wages, working conditions, and health and pension benefits, as well as create guardrails for the use of artificial intelligence in future television and film productions. Additionally, the union is seeking more transparency from streaming services about viewership, so that residual payments that can be made equitable to that scene or on linear TV. So, I am not, I'm not an actor. I don't, I'm not in SAG or anything. But the way that it's kind of been explained to me is, because a lot of the executives and a lot of these companies own the streaming sites. Like Disney owns their own, Netflix owns their own, and also their what's the word I'm looking for? Since they own the platforms, there is a certain amount of transparency that they just don't have to engage in terms of how many subscribers they have, in terms of how much viewership each show or each episode is getting. And a lot of that transparency needs to be made for actors and for the people who are making these shows so that they can kind of get their deals. Because when depending on how it is that you're going to basically get paid from either writing on TV shows or acting in any of them, is going to come down to some of it is viewership, some of it is basically how much the show is bringing in. And if those numbers are obscured or they're not available, then it makes it really hard from a actor's position to argue for better pay, better conditions, all of that stuff. So, information withholding is one way that you see these studios and you see these platform holders kind of withhold some of the value that these shows create through subscriber counts and everything else. It's kind of how a lot of these companies get around paying out some of these people, or at the very least coming to the table in good faith in terms of what their compensation is going to be like. Also just the format for if you're on a television show, right, you're going to be writing for that TV show for a couple weeks while they film, while they do a bunch of other stuff. The only thing that comes to mind that would be a good frame of reference, because I'm trying to think of like what a good example of this is. And there's a Netflix show called Love. It came out, oh God, maybe 5-6 years ago. It's a bit on the older side. It's a Judd Apatow show. Good show. But one of the characters on it is he's like an on-set like teacher, and like you get a bit of a look into, because he begins to like, he shifts into, or at least attempts to become like a writer on the show, and you kind of get a look into like how the production works a little bit. Obviously it's like dramatized and like it's a comedy that, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's bullshit in it, but the kind of idea of like, all right, yeah, like if they're gonna go film in Georgia, then you need to go with the cast and crew, you need to go with everybody else, and go and travel while you're trying to write the show. You know, there's always you know, when you just write a script for a television episode or for a movie or whatever, that script is then like, as filming like continues, you're obviously like making small edits. You're like, oh, okay, this didn't work, like this line didn't work, what if we like did this instead, and stuff like that. But the people who wrote the initial show still need, like, you know, usually would be there to kind of work all of that stuff out, and they'd get paid for a lot of that time on set and everything else. But what the industry's kind of tried to shift people into is gig work. Adam Ruins Everything, I forget his last name, but he has like good videos explaining how like the structure is different. If I can find it, we could watch that if it's short. I just don't want it to take too long. Anyway, oh hey, Sensible Center's here. I'll read that in a second. Heading into negotiations last month, Hollywood performers were looking to improve wages. We did that already. Seeking more transparency. We did that already. You cannot change the business model as much as it has changed, and not expect the contract to change too. The Writers Guild of America, which has been on strike since May, is seeking higher compensation and residuals, particularly when it comes to streaming shows, as well as new rules that will require studios to staff television shows with a certain number of writers for a specific period. The Guild also is seeking compensation throughout the process of pre-production, production, and post-production. Currently, writers are often expected to provide revisions or craft new material without being paid. The WGA also shares similar concerns over the use of artificial intelligence when it comes to script writing. This one I know, this one specifically, it's basically what they want to move into going into the future is you write a script, they then kind of, you know, feed that script to AI. They pay you for like, you know, 1 day, 2 days worth of work, have the AI pump out something that is technically different, but is still based on a lot of your work. And then they go from there. Like, that's pretty much it. Or you come in, or like, you know, you come in and do touch-ups on a completely AI written script. But then you're only getting paid piecemeal for like these little things instead of for the actual like script writing process. SAG-AFTRA said producers have been unwilling to offer its members a fair deal and have worked to delay negotiations. The AMPTP responded to the strike declaration by issuing a statement that it, quote, presented a deal that offered historic pay and residual increases, substantially higher caps on pension and health contributions, audition protections, shortened series option periods, and a groundbreaking AI proposal that protects actors' digital likenesses. Also, I'd love to actually see the deal. And keep in mind also, like, whenever people want to put historic pay and, you know, residual increases, it's always like, what? We're giving you like 20% now, even though it's like, yeah, 20% like doesn't mean as much anymore. Or like if 20% is like a number that they're comfortable with giving up. You always gotta, you know, we're never gonna really see probably the actual negotiating terms, but like something tells me it's all like, you know, quarter loaf. Like, look, we're giving you a quarter loaf. What do you want from us? Addressing the producers, a statement, Duncan Crabtree, Ireland, National Executive Director and Chief Negotiator for SAG-AFTRA, dismissed the AMPTP claims, especially when it came to the AI proposal. In that groundbreaking AI proposal, they proposed that our background performers should be able to be scanned, get paid for 1 day's pay, and their company should own that scan, their image, their likeness, and should be able to use it for the rest of eternity in any project they want with no consent and no compensation. So if you think that it's a groundbreaking proposal, I suggest you think again. Oh yeah, that's fucking awful. Drescher called the AMPTP members crazy, called the response actors to the actors' proposals insulting. SAG-AFTRA's comments come as reports have surfaced about tactics studio producers allegedly plan to implement against writers, namely that producers don't plan on attempting to negotiate with writers for several more months. According to the reports, producers expect writers will run out of money and possibly lose their homes and be forced to. Oh, I think I've seen this. Yeah, I think I saw this headline. There was like a yeah, here it is. Hollywood Studios WGA strike endgame is to let writers go broke before resuming talks in fall. Yep. Regardless of whether SAG-AFTRA goes on strike this week, the studios have no intention of sitting down with the Writers Guild for several more months. And keep in mind also, like, that kind of idea, the whole like, oh, we'll scan you as a background, as like a background actor, we'll just scan you and that'll be it. Like one day, like maybe you get scanned and that's literally the only thing you do. You can't live off of that. That's no longer a job. That's no longer like, people can't be background actors and actually break into the industry in any kind of meaningful way at that point, or even just do it because it's the thing that they like to do. You know, there are people who are good at like, who are good background actors. That is like a skill, and they're trying to like take that away from people, because at the end of the day, that's mostly just profit seeking. You know, if they can pay you for one day and use your work, the thing that you did for like, you know, all eternity, then they'll do it. You know, and they'll do this to actors as well. You know, if they can make some deal with Brad Pitt or somebody to scan them, and then that's it. You know, they never have to cast Brad Pitt again. They just have to, you know, they can just CGI his ass into stuff. Then, you know, that's it. Brad Pitt doesn't get any more work. You know, they get the rights to his likeness, meaning like, you know, they make money off of his notoriety and appearance in any movie that they digitally implant him into. Let's see. While the AMPTP has denied these reports, studio executives have remained outspoken about what they consider unreasonable contract requests. We managed as an industry to negotiate a very good deal with the Directors Guild that reflects the value that the directors contribute to this great business. Now, keep in mind also, directors have so much more power and are a lot higher up. It's not really shocking. The same way, the same reason why your manager is paid more than you, while they create objectively less value in the workplace, is why they get better deals. Like, the purpose of a manager, and, you know, directors also are artists, but like, keep in mind the monetary relationship, the financial relationship is the same for directors as it would be for like any manager of like a restaurant, of a retail store, of anything. Like, at the end of the day, they're there to keep everybody else and every other cog spinning. That's their entire job. So like, you want to make sure that those people are taken care of, so that they take care of all of, like, you know, the millions of underlings that you have under them. Let's see. Disney CEO Bob Iger told CNBC on Thursday morning ahead of SAG-AFTRA's announcement, quote, "We wanted to do the same thing with the writers, and we'd like to do the same thing with the actors. There's a level of expectation that they have that is just not realistic, and they're adding to the set of challenges that this business is already facing. That is, quite frankly, very disruptive." Oh yeah, and like, keep in mind, like, a reduction in Bob Iger's wage is never on the table. He will say it's disruptive. He will say that, like, you know, oh, you know, it creates a lot of challenges. My dude, you sit there and sign papers and like get paid what, millions per year? I don't even know what Bob Iger makes every year, but I can guarantee you Bob Iger does not create the same value that any director of any movie at a Disney studio ever has. Like, not even close. Iger noted that the industry has not completely recovered from the coronavirus pandemic, and these strikes come at, quote, the worst time in the world. Yeah, it's kind of the point. It's kind of the point. When you're desperate, this is what happens. You know, at the end of the day, strikes need to be timed in a way to, what's the word? Capitalize on the most vulnerable time for CEOs. It will have a very, very damaging effect on the whole business, and unfortunately, there's huge collateral damage to the industry, to people who are, you know, support services. I could go on and on. It will affect the economy of different regions, even because of the sheer size of the business. It's a shame. It really is a shame. Now, keep in mind, again, if he's so concerned about, you know, any of the like service staff, so any of your like on-set caterers, you know, your on-set builders, like stuff like that. If you're actually concerned about that, Bob Iger, then you and Disney and every other head of a studio can continue to pay those people per this time. That's if you really care, if that's what your real concern is, then you can pay them, or you can go to the negotiating table in good faith. Those are the options. This, at the end of the day, is no different than like, you know, Russia complaining about like pushback from Ukraine for their invasion, and then being like, look, we want to end this like as quick as possible. Come on, like it is being unreasonable. Like, look how much damage this is creating. It's like, well, you could stop the invasion, and for Bob Iger and the ilk like him, you can come to the negotiating table. That's all you have to do. You're the one, you're the ones who hold all the purse. So Anyway, let's see. What did Sensible Center say? I love how his name is Sensible Center, and I can tell he's like, LARPing his workers. Like, oh boy, yeah, like most useless sector of society, LARPing his workers. I get the kick out of what adlapated upper crust babies do to pass the time. Same class of people who consider themselves to be considers a poet at large. Whatever happened to just doing your job and going home? Man, what a pro. I have never read a more bootlicking chat message in my entire life. Fire all the screenwriters and place them with ChatGPT. Most of the TV shows and movies are already drivel and simultaneous. Yeah, okay, right. Sensible Center, somebody who's probably never created a piece of art in their entire life. Certainly. All right, yeah, we read this. I want to take a little bit. Oh no, I don't want this. No, I want the one. Let's see, pulling back making Marvel Star Wars content. Oh, I'm actually okay with that. Where is it? Oh well, I guess we already read the Bob Iger stuff. Let's hear Fran Drescher's whole bit, shall we?
Thank you, Duncan, and thank you everybody for coming to this press conference today.
Can't be real workers.
Really
they only create the culture that people like.
That
create
this
industries
negotiation
around.
Be covered because the eyes of the
It's fucking
world,
brain
and
dead
particularly the eyes of labor, are upon us. What happens here is important because what's happening to us is happening across all fields of labor. By means of when employers make Wall Street and greed their priority, and they forget about the essential contributors that make the machine run. We have a problem, and we are experiencing that right at this moment. This is a very seminal hour for us. I went in earnest thinking that we would be able to avert a strike. The gravity of this move is not lost on me or our negotiating committee or our board members who have voted unanimously to proceed with a strike.
And keep in mind, as much as like people will kind of deride like Hollywood actors, I've seen a lot of articles that like describe this as like Hollywood actors are going on strike. Keep in mind, like the people who you view as like Hollywood actors, the people who are like the your Brad Pitts, your I'm forgetting like every actor's name ever, but like all of the big names, right? Like there are maybe only a couple hundred of those big names at best. The like body of SAG-AFTRA is not just like those big heavy hitters, those like A-list celebrities, not just people who are in Christopher Nolan movies. These are people across like all like sorts of like tiers of the industry. So this is a ton of workers coming out and like showing up and showing a lot of solidarity. Like guys like Matt Damon I saw were getting like clipped out of context, like he wasn't in favor of the strike and stuff. Like Matt Damon does not need, like the dude like owns his own studio, the production house and like stuff like that. But like at the end of the day, he is like the thing he's known for is being an actor, and it's like commendable that he's standing up for and standing with people who like might not be like of his like prominence or on his level, but like absolutely are still valuable members and still are actors, people who are like creating media, creating art for us to consume, giving us something to do other than toil in the fucking mines all the time. So like, and this relationship shouldn't be any different between, these actors and workers in other sectors. She makes a good point. A lot of this is happening across sectors, across this entire country. We're seeing a lot of strikes from Starbucks workers, from Teamsters going on strike all over the country. Like, we should be absolutely in full support of workers being allowed to negotiate and get what they think is a fair deal. To default to whatever an owner, a boss says is fair for you is utter fucking lunacy. You are brain dead. You are dumb. I have no sympathy for your position in life if that's the tack that you take. If you go and ask, that's a delicious boot, may I taste the other? Like, every boss wants this kind of like awful relationship for you and them at the end of the day while they exploit your labor. And the nice thing is when we see Hollywood actors, when we see these kinds of strikes, dude above you, when we see these kinds of strikes, like they're good for two reasons. One, for the workers who are actually like, you know, the actors and everything else. But two, it gives a lot of people, I think, room and permission to go on strike more. This is going to be very publicized. And certainly, you know, there are going to be a lot of people who don't want to see a, what's the word I'm looking for? A prominent and highly publicized union strike, because that tells every other union, this is what you should be doing, or tells every other worker for that matter, this is what you should be doing, unionize, and you can secure these rights for yourself. Like, at the end of the day, that is, you know, the last thing they needed was SAG-AFTRA to go on strike, as well as the writer's strike, because everyone's going to feel it when shows stop coming out, or when you can really tell that those seasons, you know, I remember like a long time ago, like you could tell what season was the writer's strike season back in like 2000, I think it was 08, 07 maybe. Like every DVD set for like a season of television, you can like be like, yeah, there's like this one season in the middle of the show that just isn't on par with the rest, and it's because of the writer's strike.
It's a very serious thing that impacts
What's up,
thousands,
Liberty
if
Toucher?
not millions
Yeah,
of
the
people
guy above you.
all across this country and around the world. Not only
This
members
so-called
of
centrist.
this union, but people who work in other industries that service the people
This is correct.
that work
You've-
in this
now
industry.
you've come to the right take.
And so it came with great sadness that we came to this crossroads, but we had no choice. We are the victims here. We are being victimized by a very greedy entity. I am shocked by the way the people that we have been in business with are treating us. I cannot believe it, quite frankly. How far apart we are on so many
Principal Senator,
things.
this one's for you.
How they plead
I'm gonna be
confidence
fine with your jokes,
that they're losing money left and
but
right,
I'm not
while giving
sure about
hundreds of
dark
millions of
branding.
dollars to their CEOs. It is disgusting. Shame on them. They stand on the wrong side of history at this very moment. We stand in solidarity, in unprecedented unity. Our union and our sister union.
Also, crazy thought. You know who doesn't have a fucking you know who doesn't have a union? The digital artist. So like, I'm sure you've seen a myriad of videos on like YouTube, or if you went to go see The Flash, you probably noticed how like lacking the CGI has been over the last, I don't know, maybe like a year, 2 years, I would say. You know, like I don't know when the whole like trend began, and even then, like, you know, as someone who grew up with like Spawn CGI, when people are like, "Oh, that's like really bad CGI," I'm like, "Look, man. I grew up in the '90s. CGI, like, as sometimes it's not like the greatest these days. Like, I've seen so much worse. My tolerance for bad CGI is rather high. But my point is, you might have seen, like, you know, some people complain about, oh, CGI isn't as good as it was before, or it's really whatever, right? And the thing about that is, like, those workers, the people, the digital artists, those like CGI artists, they're not in any of these unions, unfortunately. They absolutely should start their own, absolutely, but unfortunately they're not, and because of that, they get shafted with a lot of work and tight deadlines that are just hard to meet. And as a result of that, we get kind of a lower quality of work because of that crunch. You know, you see a lot of like kind of the crunch talk in the video game industry, but it absolutely exists in the film industry and on the digital art side of things.
Unions and the unions around the world are standing by us, as well as other labor unions. Because at some point, the jig is up. You cannot keep being dwindled and marginalized and disrespected and dishonored. The entire business model has been changed by streaming, digital, AI. This is a moment of history. That is a moment of truth. If we don't stand tall right now.
Sensible Center, what is your obsession with ChatGPT? I'm like actually kind of curious. I don't know how anybody could possibly be so I don't know how you're so hard for a mangled string of numbers and letters.
We are all going to be in trouble.
Yeah, but you've mentioned ChatGPT like
in
2 or 3
jeopardy
times.
of being
2
replaced
times.
by machines and big business. Who cares more about Wall Street than you and your family? Most of Americans don't have more than $500 in an emergency. This is a very big deal.
I really
weighed
wonder what that
heavy
statistic
on
is
us.
these days. I remember
But at
for a
some
long time it
point,
was
you
most
have to
Americans
say,
can't afford a
"No,
$400
we're not
emergency.
going to take this anymore. You people are crazy. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Privately, they all say we're the center of the wheel. Everybody else tinkers around our artistry. But actions speak louder than words. And there was nothing there. It was insulting. So we came together in strength and solidarity and unity with the largest strike authorization vote in our union's history. And we made the hard decision.
My friend, I've been working in the theater industry for like the last, on and off for the last like 10 years. I think I have some kind of idea of the of showbiz. Also, if you'd like to flaunt your credentials in showbiz, by all means.
That we tell you as we stand before you today.
Yeah, that's colloquially showbiz. Are you like stupid? Like last time you were just kind of being like slightly irritating. Did you like fall down a flight of stairs by any chance?
Hey,
Maybe there were some
this
Legos
is
on the
major.
steps on the way down.
It's really serious, and it's going to impact every single person that is in labor. We are fortunate enough to be in a country right now that happens to be labor friendly, and yet we were facing opposition. That
My
was
dude, I've heard so
labor
much worse
unfriendly,
threats on
so
Xbox Live. You're gonna have to try
tone-deaf
better than that.
to what we are saying. You cannot
I was
change
there
the
in Modern
business
Warfare
model
2 in
as much as
2005,
it has
6 maybe.
changed, and
I think it
not
was 5.
expect the contract
No,
to
that
change
wasn't
too.
2005. That was
We're not going to keep
2009.
doing
I was there in
incremental changes
09
on a
Modern Warfare
contract
2.
that no
You're gonna
longer
have to try a
honors
lot harder than
what
that.
is happening right now with this business model that was foisted upon us? What are we doing? Moving around furniture on
Boy,
the
you probably don't even
Titanic?
smoke. You vape. Spare
It's
me.
crazy. So the jig is up, AMPTP. We stand tall. You have to wake up and smell the coffee.
Oh damn,
We
she's really
are
laying it on.
labor, and
I
we
respect it
stand
though.
tall, and we demand respect and to be honored for our contribution. You share the wealth because you cannot exist without us. Thank you.
God damn. Give it up for Fran Drescher. What? Okay, what has she been in? I've always think I've known the name Fran Drescher. I don't know if I actually know what she's been in. Let's see. I'm just kind of curious. Union leader. I mean, that's the most base thing possible. Filmography? Film. Here we go. Saturday Night Fever. Oh, okay. Well, she's in Saturday Night Fever then. Okay. Wait, that's the one with Travolta, right? Yes. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good start. Let's see. Strange in the House, Hollywood Nights, Corpus, Love and Betrayal, Big Picture, Cadillac Man. Why do I feel like I've heard of Cadillac Man? Maybe I haven't. Shark Bait. Ugh. Hotel Transylvania. Oh my god. That's the franchise. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. My god. Oh my god. Oh wait, yeah, wait. I'm stupid as shit. Okay, that's where I've heard the name before. She's the okay. She's homegirl from The Nanny. Okay. Okay, okay. Cool. Wow, I didn't know. I didn't know Fran was so fucking cool. That's good to know. Fucking who hasn't been on Law and Order, honestly. Entourage. I've actually never watched Entourage. Hell's Kitchen, Broad City. That's the one with the. That's the one with the what's his face with the face, right? Homeboy. It's like Atlantic City, right? Oh my god. No, yeah, Broad, yeah, right? I'm not crazy. Broad City. I don't remember his name. Fucking Mr. Pink. Oh no, this one's Broad City. Oh, that was a good show. That was a good show. I saw a few episodes. That was pretty funny. What am I thinking of then? Broadway City? Broadway City. Is that what I'm thinking of? Broadway City? Broadway City? Am I crazy? No. God damn it. What is his name? Fuck. Reservoir Dogs? Okay. Reservoir Dogs? Wait, Reservoir Dogs came out in 92? God damn, man. Fuck, 92 is like the best one. You know, that's just one more thing it's one more argument I'm gonna make. God damn it. No, what is Steve Buscemi? That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, isn't he in Boardwalk Empire? Fuck, that's what it is. God damn it. I was kind of close. I mean, Boardwalk, Broad, kind of close. Either way, yeah. Good for them. Good for them. Good for Fran out here being cool. Standing in solidarity. All right. Let's see. I see Sensible's been throwing more veiled threats, I think. I don't know. Okay. Corrupt. What do you even showbiz is all corrupt. I don't even think you could explain that even if you tried. A mop jaw in an adult theater cleaning up jizz. I don't think how old are you? I don't even think adult theaters exist anymore. What to do is ask if you'd like fries with your order. That would be a server. Tarantino's total dilettante. Of course, you love his work. Man, somebody really read the thesaurus and has been. Have you been trying to impress like a girl with this language? I can always tell a teenager whenever they say dumb shit like what's it called about writing checks or something, and like, you know, they know anything about almost anything, and then like say stuff like dilettante. Like I can always tell a teenager, not a girl. Well, you don't know that. You don't know that. I could be a girl. I could absolutely be a girl for all you know. You don't know me. You don't know me, bud. You don't know who I am. You don't know who I is. Let this hair tie go. Let my long flowing hair out if I want to. Anyway, okay. I have to get water because I forgot to grab water before stream. So we're going to. Oh, should we go into the? Yeah, let's go into the legally distinct fun half, and then it's gonna take me a little bit longer. For your sake, you'd make it. If you were a girl, that would be fucked. If I was a girl, I would be fucked. That is true. I would fuck. If I was a girl, I would fuck. This is absolutely true. Anyway, let's shift and then I'll be back.
So do not shop at Target, or else you're gay.
Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes.
Just to simplify this, I think we're just going to use.
I may keep the pantyhose on. This feels kind of good, actually.
Larger than that, Darby. I live like a capitalist every single day.
Beat it up, N-word.
What is more important to our culture than the Joker?
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
I like black guys a lot.
The alpha males are back.
There we go. All right. Tim Pool? Yeah, Tim Pool sounds good. All right. So, oh wait, can I find Tim Pool's last presidential campaign prediction? Let's see. Tim Pool, maybe 2020? If I do 2020, will that video come up? November 2020 election videos, a video highlighting Tim Pool's many predictions that Trump. Oh wait. Yes, this is exactly what I wanted. Is this exactly what I wanted? 1 second. Oh, what is it? So 2 questions simple. Oh, is this it? Yes. Oh my goodness. Wait, is Richard oh, interesting. Is Richard Spencer like now like anti-right now? Is that what's happening? My God. How is the tide shifted this much?
It's safe to say that.
Okay, here we go. Oh yeah. Okay, I think I remember this video. Okay. Anyway, all right. So, is a libtard. Well, he's also a Nazi, so I don't really care what he is. I'd rather him just be elsewhere in the world, different country preferably. Okay. So, Tim Pool has been in the past, Tim Pool has made some pretty bold predictions and a lot of really bold claims. Some of the ones that I like come to mind are like Squid Game was like anti-communist, and what was the really big one? It was something about Trump, I think, winning the election in 2020, and he really went out there on a limb. And let's take a little trip down memory road, shall we, to kind of relive a bit of 2020, and then we'll take a look at where he hasn't quite learned his lesson yet. He hasn't quite learned his lesson yet.
As of right now, I believe President Donald Trump is on track for a re-election victory and
Now, God damn it. Damn you, Richard Spencer. I can't even use your stupid video because it has fucking copyrighted music, you ass.
All right, they investigated a political rival. It is what...
Oh, no. Fine, I'll just YouTube it. Let's see. Fine. Tim Pool. I don't know. Trump 2020 prediction. See if I can find like a short for it. Under 4 minutes? No. Damn it. What's worse is I know the exact video I'm looking for. How is any of this related to what I typed, guys? I guess Michael Cohen. I guess that's vaguely related. Oh, wait. It would help if I, like, spelled correctly. Silly me. That would probably help. No. Wait, what? Republicans are sexy. Democrats are fat. Oh man, they want to be cool so badly. What's the oh, he's talking about the Nazi thing. Oh, okay, right. Comments and attack on his family. Oh man.
You get a Trump.
No, that's from like a month ago. I want his 2020 prediction. If I like Google it. Prediction? Yeah, because I remember it was like 50 state landslide. Oh wait, is this it? Is this the video I wanted? The election is being regulated. Post-truth. Oh no, this is text. I want the clips. Can I get clips? Is that a thing I can get? No. This is following. What is this one?
Election. I really don't see the Democrats winning this. I think it's fair to say Trump's gonna win
shit!
the election.
There it is. Okay, found it.
I think Kamala and Biden might be throwaway candidates. They know they're going to get steamrolled in the election. I really don't see the Democrats winning this. I think it's fair to say Trump's going to win re-election. I think Trump might have a massive victory, which shocks the left. I think we're looking at a Trump victory, man. Trump 2020 landslide, even with everything
it's so
going
weird
on
how
with COVID,
pro-Trump he
that's
is.
what we can expect. I wouldn't be surprised at all if
Isn't he
Trump
supposed to be
had
a-
a 49-state landslide,
Didn't they always tell everybody he's a
49-state
centrist?
landslide. We may be looking at
Maybe he's the kind of
Mondale
centrist that, like, Sensible
Reagan-type
Center over here
scenario
is.
where Trump landslides 49 states, and we may see a 49-state landslide.
I remember
Maybe
this.
a 50-state landslide. That'd be
Oh,
amazing. I
no.
think we might be seeing a 49-state
no.
landslide. I just really think it's more likely that Trump wins 520 electoral votes. No amount of mail-in ballots will
520?
matter. If Trump gets 537 or 36 or even
Okay, I think I've made my point before I get fucking DMCA striked. So Tim Pool never quite learned his lesson and is now trying to peddle some more pro. He's really trying to manifest some pro-Trump wins. So let's take a look at this.
the Democrats are basically abandoning Joe Biden. And I can't blame them.
They are.
They shouldn't have picked him in the first place. Joe
This is
Biden
news to
only
me.
narrowly has any kind of appeal that would result in someone voting for him. And the reality is that most people just voted against Donald Trump. So now
this
that
is
we're
true.
entering the next
A lot of
election
people did.
cycle, we can see the longevity of Joe Biden was short-lived.
Keep in mind, if that was your real analysis, then your argument wouldn't be that you want to find a different candidate, or at the very least, your argument from like a right-wing standpoint wouldn't be that wouldn't be that you can beat him next time. Like, all you need to do is like, I should say, like, all you actually have to do is just find a different candidate other than Trump. Honest to God, like, that's all you really have to do. But like the problem that the Republican Party is having is that they can't not go with Trump. It's just not an option for them. Their base won't have it. So they're stuck in this like lose-lose scenario where if they don't run Trump, like, their base will turn on them. They will lose. If they do run Trump, they will just simply lose because so many people won't vote for Trump. And too many people are just like, whatever, Biden's just a default vote at this point. Like, if you want to chip away at Biden's support, you just have to field a better candidate. But they literally can't. Like, they're just kind of fucked in this regard. And all the
For
RFK
this, we are
Juniors in the
seeing
world
many
isn't going to
people
help.
rise up, namely Gavin Newsom in the prediction markets, but the polling suggests that
Gavin
RFK Jr. is actually in second place. Now, why is this? Well, a new poll has come out.
Well, probably because his name is probably because he's a Kennedy. That's like a big reason why he got such a big bump in the beginning, because people remember the Kennedys, and like, regardless if you were born, like, I was born in '92, well after the Kennedy name had really a lot of relevance in popular culture, and even I would be like, oh, a Kennedy is in the race. All right, then JFK was pretty cool. I mean, there's obviously things I probably disagree with, but like, fuck, people love JFK. But, the minute you start looking into RFK, it kind of begins to fall apart.
Discussing issues that we face today in the culture war, and lo and behold, guess what? Democrats do not agree with the Democratic Party's
funny.
position on these issues.
I just noticed
That
Tim
is
has
to
a
say,
VPN, but
the Democrats
is
are
VPN
embracing
not even
leftism
on?
and woke ideology that regular people do not care for. I love this story from...
Well, okay. So I really am enjoying, he's saying a lot of this. He's loading this intro with a lot of pretense. And the title of this article is RFK Jr. is surging only in polls among Republicans. Like, he's running a very Republican-friendly campaign. Being anti-vax is not going to shave off votes from Biden. It's just not going to happen.
From the Washington Post, RFK Jr. is surging only in polls among Republicans. Really? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Take a look at the prediction market.
Oh, I'm kind of
Who will win the 24?
The prediction market. What? Okay. First of all, why the prediction market? Can I get an understanding of this? Oh boy, oh buddy, I'm looking at some polling data right now on the side. Why prediction? What is this? Predict? What the fuck is predict it? What? What the fuck is this? Predict it? Prediction? Yeah, it's what, gambling? It's a gambling site. Range of available markets at which you can try to predict the outcome. What the fuck? New Zealand-based prediction market that offers exchanges on political and financial events. Predicted is owned and operated by Victoria University of Wellington. Company's office located in D.C. in 2014. Like, what? What is the... Is this really the best we can... Is this the best Tim Pool has? Is, like, a gambling site? Okay.
Democratic nomination.
Buy,
Joe
yes,
Biden, of
buy-
course,
yeah, it's
says
a gambling
67 cents.
site.
I think it's a fair bet because we don't even know if there's going to be a primary or what the plan is. Gavin Newsom is a
when
fair
people
bet,
want to
but Robert
predict on
Kennedy
like
Jr.
wrestling
is
and stuff,
skyrocketing.
and they go to
Now at
gambling
13
sites, like
cents. And in the polls, he's hitting nearly
it's
20%.
wrestling, but like, come
If
on.
Donald Trump embraces RFK Jr., and a lot of people have talked about a potential Trump-Kennedy ticket, which seems like a long shot, a pipe
Hasn't he
dream,
already said he
not
doesn't
gonna happen.
like or agree
But
with
that
Trump?
could steal a large portion of Democrats away from the Democratic Party, and they may end up voting Republican.
What's funny is also, so I'm like glancing at 538. What's funny is like you don't really get a lot of like we get some Trump DeSantis, which is cool. Wait. Oh God. Yeah, I mean look at this. Look at this. But you don't get a lot of Trump and DeSantis, but like and you get a lot of Biden Trump for the general, but not really anything in the primary. It's mostly all just approve, disapprove, which like his Biden's like approval numbers are not great, but like again contrasted with the fact that there isn't really another viable choice. I think people are a lot more open and willing to say that they're disapproving of Biden's job, but like given the circumstances, like this isn't, I don't know what it's, let's see if we can find out what it's asking, because I'm kind of curious. Let's see, updated average accounting for each poll's recency sample. Okay, do Americans approve or disapprove of Joe Biden? Right. Cool, but that's not even asking the question of would you vote for him again? Because like, do I approve of Joe Biden's job? I'm probably closer to 50-50. You know, ask me depending on the day and you might get like a couple different answers, but like certainly not in the strongly approved category. But like, what are my options? My options are Biden or RFK or Marianne Williamson, to which it's like, oh, it's an easy choice, Biden, easily. And like between Biden and Trump, that's even easier. Biden. That's also not hard at all. So like, what are we really measuring here? I mean, it's Biden to Biden, but like the thing that people are voting on is Biden versus another challenger. You know, devoid of that context, it's kind of irrelevant.
Of course, the Washington Post is saying it's only Republicans supporting RFK Jr. And to be fair, there are a lot of Republicans and moderates who are supporting him. But take a look at this poll from Political Polls. Do you think that Joe Biden is the strongest candidate that Democrats...
Where did they pull this from? Oh, YouGov Economist. Oh, is this one of the ones that I just looked at? Whatever, I don't care.
Democrats could nominate for president in 2024. Yes, he is. Say 20%. Wow. No, he is
crazy.
not. Say 61%. That's amazing. Even among Democrats.
What do you think the Trump numbers are? I'm actually kind of curious because I think a lot of Trump voters are starting to come to the realization that while they really like Trump, he's not a very good, like, he's a bit of a poison candidate at this point. And how many of them, like, the thing that you're betting on if you're a Democrat is that there's going to be some Republicans who are going to abstain from voting for Trump simply for the fact that they like want the party to move on and they don't think he's a viable candidate.
Joe Biden only hits around 40%, with 36% saying no. That's amazing. Dude.
Cool.
The Democrats are in serious trouble. And this Substack article breaks it down in a rather interesting way. I'd like to read for you this so you can understand.
Oh, the liberal patriot. Oh, I wonder who this guy is. What is his name? Roy Texera. R-U-Y Tex. American political scientist. So it's just commentator, several books. I'm a bit curious. He is most noted for his work on political political demography, sure, whatever, and particularly for the emerging Democratic majority, 2002, co-wrote with John Judas. Oh, so he's just like, okay. 99, he moved to, don't care about that. Texas Arizona, also a guest scholar, booking institution. Let's see. Senior fellow, 03, became senior fellow, newly former Center of American Progress, headed by John Podesta, chief of staff for Bill Clinton, co-chair of Obama's transition team. So he's like an establishment lib then. Okay, cool. Wait, this is your, okay.
And guess what? You, my friends, watching this at home, you're the regular person. You're the average American.
Do
what
average
the media
Americans
is
watch
portraying
Tim
is a
Pool?
lie.
I find that to be hard to
Wokeness
believe.
is not popular. It never has been. But there's institutional capture because of clever activists. The average person is saying enough. And if the Democrats embrace...
What's funny is, like, Tim knows that his audience isn't, like, they're not like normies, are they? If you know who Tim Pool is, you're not like a political normie. You're at the very least like politically engaged in a way that like normies just aren't. Normies know who like maybe their senator is, maybe their representative, and like the president, and like they'll know the most popular senators or figures. But that's kind of it. But if you're a normie, you're not watching Tim Pool's show. No normie watches Tim Pool. Absolutely none.
Brace this, they lose. Don't take my word for it. Let me show you this NBC News article.
Wait,
Most
we didn't
Americans
even read
oppose,
that. That's
including
the left
trans
versus,
athletes
okay.
in sports. Poll finds.
Cool.
Really? Well, that's strange. I was
Oh,
told
okay, we're
only
going back to it.
fascists disagree with that agenda. But maybe the reality is institutions are captured by loud, angry...
Wait, what was that? Wait. Because the American people, 7% of U.S. adults say transgender athletes should be allowed to compete only on sports teams that correspond with their sexes they were assigned at birth. Okay, all right. Let's talk about this because I think Jank and like TYT made this argument too that like the trans sports thing is a losing topic. So let me try and like quickly address this really quickly. The fact that the American people, in terms of polling that we can find, are less favorable toward trans people competing in these sports in which coincide with their gender, because that's, you know, they believe that it's more needs to be based on sex. At the end of the day, I think the American people can be moved on this for the simple fact that I would say trans people, in that they are citizens of the United States, should have full and equal access to sporting leagues, to bathrooms, to every other social accommodation that we have for everybody in this country. I do not believe that creating and I don't use this comparison lightly, a separate but equal league for trans people is fair, is what I would describe as freedom, and is certainly not in line with our appreciation of free society. I think that trans people should have the exact same amount of rights that gay people have, that straight people have, that black people have, that white people have, that Hispanics have, that everybody else in our society should. They should be able to compete regardless of all this nonsense. If there are issues with trans people competing in sports, then let that be up to leagues to decide. There are sports scientists, sports like medicine folks. There are people who are qualified to make these determinations, and I am perfectly fine with those boards coming to their own determinations. And what's funny is most of them all agree that there is a pretty fine line between what would and what wouldn't be allowable. You know, like at the end of the day, it also helps in my favor that most sports leagues also go, actually, we did the research, we looked into it. It's really not that significant. If you want a good example of this, look to Riley Gaines's prominence online and in media. She tied 5th place in a race amongst other cis women and a trans woman. The trans woman and her placed 5th place, being beaten out by 4 other cis women. So the idea that trans athletes are going to hold some distinct and like inherent advantage in any sport is ridiculous, especially when what sports are a competition of skill and a competition of athleticism. Like at the end of the day, look at any of your top Olympic athletes. They are freaks of fucking nature. Everybody who's in the NBA, everybody who's in the NFL, everybody who's like an Olympic gymnast, Olympic wrestlers, all of these people almost always are denoted as like built for this or that sport. At the end of the day, they're also sports. And I mean this when I say sports are supposed to be fun for people. And this obsession over like perfectly fair competition, if it was perfectly fair, there wouldn't be winners and losers. It's called competition. You compete. And look, if you want to say like, oh, you know, the American people, you know, it's just, they're not with us on that. That's okay. I think they're wrong, and I'm going to try my hardest and use the rhetoric that I think gets people to my position. Because I think freedom and equality is more important than like some feigned belief in freedom in sports or fairness in sports. I don't think that that's really a thing we need to strip rights away from people. You know, I don't think that's the grounds in which we should distinguish a second-class citizenry in this country. It's just not. And if you want to abandon that cause, if you want to say it's too hard, then that's okay. But just cop to the fact that you think it's too hard to argue, and that it's like not, you know, you're not strong enough. Just say that. Anyway, also, I know Tim Pool's going to say that, you know, oh, so does that mean the American people are fascists? No, not at all. The American people have not come to an opinion. They have not developed this understanding of trans people, I think. And that's okay. The problem is, and where you can tell a fascist, is where they've come to an understanding and have decided that under that understanding, they are now going to use that to undermine a group of people's existence in our society. That's the difference. Tim Pool is a transphobe because Tim Pool understands what being trans is and actively lies about it and stirs up hatred towards them, stirs a notion that these people are predators, that they are dangerous, even though Tim Pool understands all of this and can't point to anything more than minute anecdotes to make his point about trans people. The only thing he can look to, much like Patrick Bet David the other day, is on approval polling, to which approval polling does not tell us anything about the validity of a person or a group of people. So anyway, continuing.
O's, including trans athletes in sports, poll finds. Really? Well, that's strange. I was told only fascists disagree with that agenda. But maybe the reality is institutions are captured by loud, angry activists, and they think because of commercial endeavors of major corporations, this is what Americans want. And then they're surprised to find things like Loudoun County. No, parents don't want this stuff around their kids.
Oh, by the way, the thing he's referencing in Loudoun County is the fact that a cis, not trans boy raped one of his classmates in a bathroom. That's pretty much it. And he did so and made some excuse or something about wearing a dress or something. I'm not really, I vaguely remember the Loudoun story, and it was pretty uninteresting. Actually, should we look it up? Should we look it up really quickly? Let's look it up really quickly. I don't want to disinfo here. Let's look it up. Loudoun County. If I just do trans with that, let's see. I can't read that one. Reason Magazine? Ah, yes. Let's see. Perpetrator did not target a random student. He did not choose the girl's bathroom because of his gender identity. Yes, yeah, okay. In June, a male student in a skirt reportedly assaulted a female classmate in a public school bathroom in Loudoun County, Virginia. It was a story that appeared to confirm, blah, 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 but it was substantially misreported in order to fit a conservative social agenda. Anyone on the right who makes a habit of complaining, often justifiably, about the mainstream media gullibly succumbing to viral stories that fit the prior ought to denounce it as well. Smith, the father, was arrested for loudly protesting at a school board meeting on June 22nd. Cops bloodied him, placed him in handcuffs, and charged him with obstruction of justice and disorderly conduct. Where is this outrage whenever it happens to black people all the time? Anyway, when it later emerged that Smith was angry with the school district's officials because he thought they weren't doing anything about his daughter's rape, he became a conservative folk hero and was interviewed repeatedly by right-leaning media. The Daily Wire led the charge, seizing on the opportunity to embarrass both the mainstream media and the federal government. Daily Wire's interview, Let's see. The attacker was convicted of what certainly sounds like vicious and violent behavior, but he did not target a random student. He did not choose the girl's bathroom because of the gender identity. Obviously, the fact that the girl had previously had consensual sex with the male target does not mean that the May 28th incident was not a rape or that it should be treated more leniently, but it does mean, at the very least, that the boy did not ambush the random girl after using his supposed gender fluid status to enter the bathroom. He and the victims had been using it for prior sexual encounters. So let's be really, really clear. What actually happened was a incredibly toxic young male assaulting one of his classmates, and doing so by using the excuse that they're gender fluid to gain access to the bathroom, even though I can almost guarantee you there was probably not a resource officer posted at every bathroom, let alone the one he was going into. So most likely it didn't actually have very much with him being gender fluid. Seems like it was mostly just an excuse. So if we're really talking about like what parents are upset about, in this case, it's parents upset about a cis kid, what's the word? Pretending to be trans and then assaulting somebody. Often this is heralded as some like, oh, you see, like we can't have, we can't have trans people because you can't tell, because we have all these cases of rape in women's restrooms. Well, most of those seem to happen from what's the word I'm looking for? Are perpetrated by cis people. So it's almost like it's a cis people's problem. Crazy that, right?
Check out this story. Rai Teixeira says, on Tuesday, John Halpern introduced our new survey project on the important issues and political ideas shaping the 2024 presidential election. He recounted some of the findings. He says, I'll do the same here. Taking immigration first, we asked voters to choose from three options. 1, people around the world have a right to claim asylum, and America should welcome more immigrants to the country. 2, America needs
to
secure its borders and create more legal and managed immigration paths. And 3, America needs to close its borders.
Wait, why'd you stop there? Paths to bring in skilled professionals or workers to help our economy grow, or America needs to close its borders to outsiders to reduce all levels of immigration.
Outsiders and reduce all levels of immigration. Under a quarter chose the first option. That is
24%.
People around the world have a right to claim asylum. Only 24%.
Also keep in mind the idea that like people, the problem. So my issue with the first question, and this guy's a sociologist, I'm sure he could explain it, but to me these are kind of two different topics, because I can believe that I think people have a right to claim asylum, because that's kind of, people have a right to do that, I think. And what, like, because one of them is kind of like an approval of an act, and the other one is like what America ought to do, which are two really like separate things. Like what others do and how and what we should do as a response would be different. I feel like this should just start as, this should just be America should welcome more immigrants. I don't like the way this first one's phrased, but you know,
people around the world have a right to claim asylum.
That's my
Only
own.
24% agreed with that.
That's my own gripe.
Check
that's
this
just
out.
my thing.
Emphasizing the right to asylum, admitting more immigrants, which is closely associated with the Democratic Party. By far, the most popular option was the second one.
So it needs to secure its border and create more legal and manage. So yeah, the thing that we have right now, like yeah, okay.
Emphasizing borders.
So what you're telling me is, what is this? Basically 60, 25. So what is that? Like, God, I'm bad at math. 85. So we're looking at 83% said what? So only 17%. Oh, the number's right there. We're like, close the border. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Security and skilled migration. 59% favored. Only 17 wanted the draconian issue. And you know what?
Yeah.
How much do you want to bet? Most of you watching would take a similar approach. We must secure our borders, and we can create legal managed paths to immigration. That's been my position the whole time.
Yeah, it's called
I say this,
the asylum
everyone
process.
should come to America. Every single person in the world. That's right, all 8 billion. But they gotta
He does
come
know.
here legally.
Wait.
You know what that means?
He does know that, like, what's it called? Like, a managed immigration path is called asylum, and the reason why we have a really backed up asylum process, which is leading to a lot of illegal immigration, is because of the reforms that the Trump administration put in. Like, because they gummed up the system by like not hearing people or making them stay in like Mexico and stuff like that. Because of some of those policies, it's kind of gummed up the process. Also, if you don't have enough immigration judges to hear all of the cases, there's also kind of that little bit of it.
It means they won't be allowed to. It means that the people who apply and get approved so we can manage
Also, I don't get what the problem is.
the admission
I've
of
yet
these
to see.
immigrants, then they can come in, but it will be controlled because, let's be honest, 8 billion people would destroy the country. You can't maintain a system like that. That's why.
Wait, what do you mean you can't maintain a system like that? We have 3 point something. What do we have? 300, not 3 point. We have what, 375 million people in this country or something like that? I don't know what the current U.S. population is. Let's find out. I'm kind of curious. Current U.S. population. Oh, never mind. What am I saying? Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, this is as of 2021. Do we know? 336 million. Okay. That's even less than I thought. I thought we were 40 million above. Never mind. Or no, not 4 million. No, wait, what did I say? No, yeah, 40 million. Yeah. Yeah. We could take more people in. Fuck yeah. More taxpayers, more tax revenue. What's the problem?
You need secure borders and legal systems. Now, check this one out. Turning to climate and energy. 1, we need a rapid green transition. 2, we need an all-of-the-above strategy. And 3, we need to stop the push to replace domestic oil. Once again, the Democratic identified first position, emphasizing ending the use of fossil fuels.
Wait, once again, the Democratic identified first position, emphasizing ending. Wait. Is this just the party is ahead of its voters? Is that really all we're doing here? Is that the party has said, hey, our top goal is to, rapidly reduce fossil fuel burning. That's our that's like the thing that we're aiming for. And our voters are like, yeah, like that's cool. Like voters, I kind of feel like voters to a degree always are going to be a little bit more reserved in their policy prescriptions, mainly because they're not the decision makers. So like, you kind of have to sell them on that sort of stuff. What's weird is like, if Tim Pool really wanted to do this, like where the Democratic Party is out of step with the American people on, you know where he would look for? Medicare for all support in the Democratic Party. If you want to see like a real stark look at an issue that the Democratic Party is uninterested in where its voter base is at, look at Medicare for all. Because like the Democratic Party is fine with having a position that is pro green energy, that is enthusiastic about the reduction of fossil fuel burning. Like they're totally cool with that sort of stuff. But the minute you introduce, or like you have a candidate that's talking about Medicare for all or college for all or any of the really progressive stances, that's when they get a little bit more nervous. What they're more in favor of are like really centrist, business-friendly, cookie-cutter policies. And the stuff that they're even that they've identified or that they've said are their big tickets. Like, think about it. Biden wants to say like, oh, I'm, big on energy. I'm a big green energy guy, right? And he wants points for that. But like, have we made that much progress under Biden in terms of the greenification of our energy grid? No, we have not. We've made some efforts and certainly like, we've made progress, but like, was it the change that we all like would want to see under a Bernie? No. But it's also not an issue that like everybody that's like at the top of everybody's minds anyway. Like, unfortunately, climate change is not this like right now in the moment thing for everybody. It should be, but it's not. So Democrats are comfortable with taking a stronger position on that because then they can kind of cut back a little and meet their base where they're at a little bit more. But regardless, it's like bad for us either way.
Was embraced by only 29% of voters. Amazing. The most popular position is the second. Hey, look at that. Moderate approaches. Yes, I agree. We want oil and gas. We want renewables. We want nuclear power. We want to be energy independent. I think the most interesting thing was the issue on transgender individuals, because this is one of the core tenets of wokeness right now, and this is the one that shows you how out of touch the left.
Oh my God, I'm really tired of wokeness. I just want to sleep more sleep, less woke.
Is because this one gets interesting. Check this out. The distance from the center is even more obvious when we take a look at voter views on transgender controversies.
Also, keep in mind, Rai Texera, the dude whose Substack article this is, keep in mind also, it seems like this poll was conducted by people who read his Substack article, because from what I can gather, like based on I don't know, can I read this? Can I read this specific thing? I'm pretty sure like you have to have a thing, right? Liberal patriot, like I have to be is it this? Can I read this? No. Continue reading. Okay, I can read this. Cool. Our new survey project. Our initial 3,000 voter survey in 2024. Oh, it's okay. It's a YouGov one. Okay, cool. Introducing the 2024 Patriot Index. So they just have their own little like survey thing. Biden versus Trump horse race. I wonder why Tim didn't mention this. Same guy. 7% are unsure. You can almost believe, like, if these numbers held, you can believe that's probably going 4-3 Biden. So yeah. Would currently back incumbent. Yeah, like, it's kind of funny that if Tim clicked on one of these links, it would kind of undermine his entire... Let's take a look. What do we got here? What is this? Looking at combined love, hate. That's weird. That's a bit weird. Weird way to word that. Either way, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this cuts really against Trump's not Trump. Fucking Tim's whole like point. Currently holds a marginal lead in the re-election. Yeah, like he holds a marginal lead now. Imagine what happens when they get on stage again. Like woof. But yeah, like this doesn't. It's 3,000 people. That's not like a bad number or anything. I just don't know where they're sourcing it from. If they're sourcing it from the same place YouGov sources it from, then I guess it's fine. Transition. But like either way, this dude is like a hardcore establishment Democrat. I don't know why Tim's even looking to this guy. He should hate this guy.
Here are 3 choices we offered voters. 1, states should protect all trans youth by providing access to puberty blockers and transition surgeries if desired, and allowing them to participate fully in all activities and sports as the gender of their choice.
Makes
Number
sense.
2, states...
Also keep in mind, like, take transgender youth out of this and just put all people. Like, you would go like, yeah, of course, everybody should have access to whatever medicine, like, is applicable to them. Like, everyone should... I don't know. I just believe in equality, maybe. Maybe that's... I know that might just be a real lefty take there. I just
protect
like
the
equality.
rights of transgender adults to live as they want, but implement stronger regulations on puberty blockers, trans surgeries, and sports participation for trans minors.
Also, this
Or, number
hinges
three,
on the idea
states
that
should ban
everybody
all
has
gender transition
all
treatments
information.
for minors and stop
Which
discussion
guys like
of
Tim
gender
Pool
ideology
have
in
made
schools.
it their mission to make
The
sure
first
that
position,
people don't have
emphasizing availability of
consistent
medical
and-
treatments
consistent
for
and
transgender
honest
children,
information.
and sports participation directed by gender self-identification is unquestionably the
Oh yeah, like look at this, euphemistically referred to as gender affirming care. It's not euphemistically, that's what it's called. Like maybe in the science terms it might not be, but like that is what it is. Like it's affirming their gender. Yeah, like
default position of the Democratic Party today. Indeed, to dissent in any way from this position in Democratic circles is enough to earn one of the sobriquet of hateful bigot or worse. Yet only about a quarter, 26% of voters
these people are
endorse this
so
position.
disconnected.
Indeed, the
from,
most popular position
from
of the
normal
three
people.
is the most draconian, that medical treatments for trans kids should be banned. As should
Oh my God, Tim. Was Tim a theater kid? He strikes me as a theater kid. He puts on such a show when it's a trans issue. Do you guys notice that? Like the way he grids his teeth on the trans issue, like it is personal for him. A quarter, 26% of voters endorse this position. Indeed, most popular position of the three is the most draconian.
discussion of gender ideology in public schools.
That's embraced by 41%
That's embraced
of
by
voters.
41% of
And a third
voters.
of voters.
Another third of
favor the
voters
second,
favor the second position,
advocating- yeah.
advocating stronger regulation. Together, the
Yeah.
latter two positions make it 3-1 among all voters against the Democratic position. That's right.
Wait, huh? Because if you have 26 in the other one, then that's 2/3 that are for trans rights. Just one of them is a little bit less, slightly more restrictive than the other. Like 41 would still be like the third. There should be 4 options. There should be like a tepid support. There should be like full support, tepid support, tepid, I guess, rejection, full rejection. But okay.
You are the regular person. Now, why is it then that YouTube would censor us? Why is it that these big tech companies would shut down our videos, delete our speech? They do not represent this country.
Has Tim Pool
These are
been
captured
shut
institutions.
down
You know what? This is why
or
we're
censored?
winning. Because they live
I don't
in
get
a
it. Tim
fake
Pool has said a
bubble
lot
world.
of anti-trans
They
stuff.
live in this world where they've crafted
over the
a reality
last,
of their own
couple of years
refuse.
or
I've
so.
talked about this with Jack
I don't
Dorsey.
remember him getting
Once Twitter was the free
getting nuked
speech
for
wing of the
that.
Free Speech Party. And then he created this prominent network of verified journalists who all started crapping in each other's mouths. A sewer
Well, that's an
of
unfortunate
deranged information
what's the word I'm
circling
looking for?
among
Visual?
themselves, not among the general public. And he started consuming that information in his own circles. He plagued his own mind. And that
Wait. Are we making analogy of the regular American and Jack Dorsey, the creator of Twitter? Really? Jack Dorsey is the normal man in this story? The guy who has access to basically all information that he could ever have wanted? What? Tim, these are not analogous. The normal American doesn't even probably doesn't interact with anybody trans on a one-to-one basis. It's probably like friends or coworkers as family members.
then started enforcing policies based upon his plagued mind. And what happened? An implosion. Donald Trump emerges.
Ugh.
People were sick and tired of this. Take a look at this. A mere 18% of moderate voters back the Democratic position. In contrast, a healthy 47% favor the stronger regulation of trans medical treatments.
Wait.
Another
A mere
35
18% of moderate voters back the Democratic position. Is this supposed to be moderate voters? In contrast, a healthy 47% favor the stronger regulations of transgender medical treatment approach. And another 35% want transgender medical treatments banned for children. And only 15% of independents are in favor of gender-affirming care, of the gender-affirming Democratic position, while roughly equal proportions, 42 and 43% respectively, back the middle regulatory approach on the total ban.
percent wants trans treatments banned for children. That's amazing.
And they're obvious.
35% of moderates
the
say
questions where
ban it
these
outright.
unpopular
Surprised?
views came
I'm not.
from. Part of the answer is that not all.
The rather startling unpopularity of
Democrats
Democratic
have been
positions in
enthusiasts
these
for those
areas
positions,
and their
but the ones
obvious
that have
distance from the views of the electoral
been
center raises the question
punch
of where
way
these
above their weight in the
unpopular views
party.
came from. Part of the answer is
Considering
that
the
not
views of
all
very liberal
Democrats have been
Democrats,
enthusiasts for these positions, but the ones that have
it's
been
almost
punched
like the
way above their
Democratic
weight in
Party
the
is
party.
not very.
I can answer that
Aren't the
question
really
for you.
best advocates for their own
It's
fucking
a
positions.
correlation. It's a relationship. You see,
A relationship,
tech
you say?
promotes content that advocates for these views. Democratic politicians seeking more viewership and more popularity will advocate for these views, creating a cycle where people like AOC say insane things, gain more followers, become more prominent,
What's the
causing
insane
big
thing?
tech to favor this view.
What's funny is, like, I don't think I've even seen a lot of AOC tweets about trans people. Like, I couldn't tell you an AOC tweet about trans folks. I can, like, if you want to trace back AOC's popularity, it's gonna come from, like, her speeches on labor and on like more like working class issues. But, like, in terms of trans stuff, she while she is a from what I think it's an educated guess to say that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a supporter of trans people. By no way would I say that that's like the core or center of her politics. It's just a bit weird that, like, that's who he picks out. Like, if you want to pick somebody who that's the core of their politics, then I don't know, pick what is her name? Is she out of Wisconsin? Ah, damn it. She's a state senate member, maybe state house in Wisconsin. Zoe Zephyr, that's what it is. Like somebody who, like, trans rights are obviously a core part of her platform, then, like, that's somebody. And, like, do you think most Democrats would be in favor of her or not? And I think it's I think I'm pretty safe in saying if you presented Democrats with somebody like Zoe Zephyr, they would be in pretty strong support of her. It just hasn't been something that I think the party has really communicated, like, properly on yet.
Again, in an ever-increasing spiral of insanity. There were hearings on social media.
Also, Tim really,
and
like,
Republicans asked Twitter why it is that when you log
gets hung
into
up
Twitter,
on the chicken
it
or the egg
default
stuff,
recommends
doesn't he?
Democrat politicians.
Every time he says, like,
have an
this
answer.
thing happens and
No,
then
our
this thing
algorithm just
happens,
does it. And there it
I
is.
always kind of be like, wait, how
This
did
is
that
what is
happen before
creating
this?
The psychosis in people today.
The
We talked about a
psychosis?
story the other day. A doctor was posting videos of surgery
Remember, one doctor.
on TikTok.
Um,
These people
isn't that illegal?
are insane. Remember all the dancing nurses during COVID? Dancing on the corpses of the COVID dead? I'm not even exaggerating.
Bring it down, Tim. Bring it. I know you're a theater kid, but I need you to bring it down a bit.
One of the videos of the dancing, they were carrying a fake body with a toe tag, and they were dancing. That's psychotic. Absolute psychotic derangement.
Sounds like something
dancing
off
in
of,
a hospital. There's one video
what's it called?
where people are filming them do this dance, and they're like, what's going on?
Sounds like something
Is
from
this why we
Beetlejuice.
can't get treatment? What are they doing? Now imagine being a regular person.
Wait. Does Tim Pool think? Wait. Does Tim Pool really think that while people were waiting for care, there were nurses filming their TikTok videos? They were probably on break, dude. Like, all of you need to take a fucking chill pill. By the way, there are 1,077,115 physicians in America. And he found one that posted one video, I guess. A video. Like, understand, this is the lunacy we're working with here. Where Tim Pool goes, we have doctors, and there's only one. Posting videos of surgeries. There's one. There's like 1 million doctors in the country. That it is so disproportionate.
Your arm's broken.
Somebody get
You're
this
saying you're
man
gonna
a
have to wait,
dictionary.
sir. And then you see a bunch of nurses dancing and doing stupid TikTok garbage. Wow. Yeah, you're gonna be like, what is happening to this country?
Yeah, what does he think happens whenever like retail workers at Starbucks are dancing? Does he think that they're like actively ignoring their customers? Like they're like, hold on, I know you need your grande frappuccino. Give me a moment. Okay. Now let's go back to the like. No, you fucking idiot. They obviously do this shit during breaks, during down periods. Fucking probably when the place is closed or when they're off and they just wear their uniforms. Like, stop being stupid, Tim. I mean, I don't know if you can do that, but I don't know how one turns that off. But
what's happening in this country? Social media has made these people insane.
Social
the
media
Democratic
does
Party
make
now
people,
espouses views
silly.
that make no sense.
Also, during COVID,
supports,
God, I would want people to get some levity in their life.
Platforms, and the younger generation adopts these views. I don't think so.
Like my friend works in the ER.
Apps like Public Square taken over.
And man, some of the stories from like the COVID era, when I'd ask him how it was going,
they're aborting and sterilizing their kids. Okay,
disturbing.
The end result is obvious. This is why Joe Biden is being rejected for
wait,
a variety
aren't you?
of reasons.
Okay. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, Tim. Aren't you like supposed to be pro-abortion or something?
Sterilizing their kids. Okay, the generation adopts these views.
I
don't think so. The sound of freedom is winning. Apps like Public Square taken over. So I don't see them winning.
Wait. The sound of okay. All right. I will take every opportunity. Every single opportunity I can to expose the cope that is Tim Pool and the Sound of Freedom. Let's take a look. All right. We got... Oh, no, it's down? Why is it down? Did something else come out? Oh, yeah, Mission Impossible. It's actually really funny because, like, these guys will be like, oh, yeah, Sound of Freedom. Oh, yeah. Even though, like, it's stiffest competition already at its first weekend. Like, we already went over this, but, like, yeah, it hasn't had competition yet. It's going to fade now because Mission Impossible just came out. Like, it's Mission Impossible, guys. The movie got released in between Indiana Jones and Mission Impossible. In between that window is where it's performing. They chose a release window that would give it the most, the greatest chance to make as much money as it can. Good strategy does not mean that it's like some runaway hit. Chill the fuck out. Jesus. But they gotta cope. I mean, they have to cope about this. They have to be popular.
And sterilizing their kids. Okay, the end result is obvious. This is why Joe Biden is being rejected. For
the leftist mafia is
why RFK Jr. is rising in the polls. Is RFK Jr. perfect? Absolutely not. He's actually fairly bad in a lot of ways. No joke. Has policies. But I'd rather see him lead the Democratic Party.
Like every
than
mild
Joe Biden.
left-ish policy that he
I want to see people
has.
snap out of the spell of the algorithmic nightmare. Maybe we'll see it. I'll leave it
No,
there.
you don't,
Next
Tim.
segment's coming up at 4 p.m. I'm sorry, 6.
Tim, stop lying. No, you don't. You know you don't want people to wake up from the algorithm. The algorithm is what keeps you employed. Please, 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 spare me the crocodile tears. All right. No, this and then this. All right. Should we watch a bit of these? Should we watch a bit of the Tucker stuff? Yeah. I think yeah. Let's take a look. You know, it's actually kind of shocking how, really how poorly Tucker Carlson has been able to, I think, hold. Oh, I don't follow. I did not realize I didn't follow Bender. Hasn't been able to really hold his like popular position in the like hearts and minds of America, right? Tucker Carlson went from prime time in the Fox News prime time position, the most watched TV host in America, right? And like he went from that to posting his videos on Twitter, and it's kind of it. I just, it's been a rough fall. It's been a rough fall for our boy here. I want to see where Binder. I know Binder put. I think it was Binder. Let's see. When was this? July 12th. Has he posted the? Was it Binder? No, maybe it wasn't. I want to see the fucking numbers. I want to see can I find maybe Tucker Carlson's Twitter viewers? I want to see. I saw somebody Twitter Carlson viewership. Maybe that'll help. Let's see. Losing audiences. Oh, fuck off. Independent. Okay, cool. The Independent. Are you going to be cool? Twitter show. Journalist Matt Binder. Okay, here it is. It was Matt Binder. Okay, I was right. Here it is. When did he tweet this? When did this happen? Oh, he tweeted this on the 7th. Okay, cool. No, I wanted to keep that open. God damn it. Nope. Not that. This here. Yeah. So let's see. So Tucker Carlson. Announcement 28 mil, 26, 13, 22, 10, 6, 8, 5. Damn, 3 mil? And you know, like, yeah, like the Andrew Tate one's probably gonna go you know, I don't know what it ended up going up to, but like the Andrew Tate one is gonna go back up probably to somewhere around the 20s, and then it's gonna go right back down. And like, yeah, number of times the video played for at least 2 seconds. Like that's like that means a lot of this is fucking irrelevant. 2 seconds? Like, keep in mind, because the reason why you would tout these views to advertisers are because you would say, look how many views Twitter is getting on Tucker Carlson's engagement or on his video releases, stuff like that, right? Because you want advertisers to show up, you want people to get Twitter Blue, as he's been giving payouts to people. But what's the word I'm looking for? But yeah, like the fact that like it's only 2 seconds of the video if it plays anywhere on the feed, like, yeah, if I'm an advertiser, I'm like, these numbers are irrelevant then. Like, even if I cut these numbers in half, like that's still kind of irrelevant then. Like these numbers for online is not very good. And like, especially compared to where he was, where like on a TV, you know, people are watching stuff like that. Like, posts assume the numbers of people who actually view the videos is much lower. Jeez. But yeah, so Tucker, you know, I don't know how well this has been going for him, but you know, he's got Andrew Tate on, so let's take a look.
Survey of female happiness in the West shows just a straight decline since about 1970 till now. Women are becoming less happy in the West. I think it's very obvious. What accounts for that?
How can you be happy when all the men around you aren't men, right? We are the most beautiful union that God has possibly.
Okay, got it. Okay. So, okay, give me 1 second. I thought it would go longer. Okay. So, when did were men like not men in the 70s? Were they not men in the 80s, in the 90s, in the 2000s, 2010s? This is such a bullshit talking point because it's something I have only heard the last 5-6 years maybe. But they want to make it seem like, oh no, this has been like it's 1970s. Oh, this has been a long process that men haven't been men. The bitching about men not being men thing has been around for maybe 10 years, if I'm being like super generous. Maybe since like a little bit before Gamergate. But like, yeah, like, no, my guy, no, it's because they entered the workforce. And I don't know if you know this, but like working in the United States kind of sucks. It's kind of soul crushing to a degree. Talk to anybody who like works a normal job. It kind of sucks. A lot of people work in industries, work jobs, work roles that they don't really like, but they have to pay the bills. If they would like to not be homeless, starving, and dead on the street within a month, you kind of have to get a job. And because of that relationship, a lot of people, most people, take jobs that they don't really like all that much. And, you know, women are no different.
Created on the planet, a feminine woman and a masculine man. It's the most beautiful
masculine man.
Exist. It raises children the best. Both parties are happier. Both parties gain. It's
What
a net
is
positive
this?
for everybody. There's no
Dude, I haven't watched Andrew Tate in a while. I forgot how, like, his British, how his fucking Brit, like, goes in and out randomly. Like, it'll just be like, why this is not a thing, and then why are people not going to the, like, it's so weird.
no negative. There's no downside.
Negative.
But if you destroy one side of the
Like
equation,
my guy,
then
be
the other
British
side's
or
gonna
don't be
completely
British, one or the other.
miserable and unhappy. How, as a woman, can you be happy if you can't find a man who you believe can protect you, provide for you, sticks up for you, has morals, has principles? There's none of those men left. So then what they do is just go from man to man trying to find it. And by the time they've been through enough men to maybe find someone semi-close to it, they've been through too many men to ever be happy.
Wait. So it's women can't find men, real men, or they've found too many, and because they've found too many, now they don't like men? Or what? Okay.
And then you have the absolute destruction of Western society. We talk about why men don't get married anymore. I can
As
tell you
if
why
men and
I
women
wouldn't
are
want to get
like
married in America.
only
I
Western
don't see the point in
civilization things.
being married.
Also, like, I love, okay, can we talk about how, like, Western civilization is, like, 3/4 of the world? Like, can we talk about that for a minute? How, like, we pretend that, like, Western civilization, when does the line start? Like, what? Past, like, the Ukrainian border is Western civilization? Like, is Western civilization also Africa? Because that, like, it's the Western civilization thing's always weird to me, because it's always just like, what is, like, where's the fucking line on Western civilization? It often feels like it often feels like when we talk about Western civilization, somehow, like, it ends up that, like, can I draw on this? Is that a thing I can do? No, right? Like, that's not a thing. But it often feels like the line is like, all right, what's Western civilization? Oh, like Ukraine and West. And it's like, wait, all of this like this tiny part over here is like, is fucking, can I actually, here, look, can I open this? Maybe we'll do this. We'll do that. Yep. And then nope, wrong screen. And we'll do this. And then we'll do this. And then I'll close this. And then, oh no, I don't need that one open. I need to minimize this one. And then this. Anyway, here we go. Now I can make the point I've been trying to make. But yeah, like, it often feels like whenever anybody wants to talk about, you know, Western civilization, it always feels like they're like, all right, draw for me Western civilization. And they're like, okay. I guess maybe up here, sure. And they're like, there you go, that's West. Like, yes, West. We have the East. All right, the East is like, no, not even. The East is like, and then let's see, what is it? The East is like this. They're like, all right, boom, East. Boom, East. They're like, oh, and then there's Eastern Europe. There we go. The global South. Yep. Oh, wait. Let's start over in this corner. The global South. All right, cool. Hand slipped a little bit there. And maybe a bit of this as well. And then, I don't know, Australia and New Zealand. Like, that's what it often feels like when we talk about the scientific map. It's like, oh yeah, the East, right? And then Eastern, you know, you got your Eastern Europe. But like, yeah, it always just feels like this is Western civilization over here. It's very weird to me. Anyway, my stupid drawing aside.
To a woman who's had
what the
so many
fuck
partners
is
before
blue
me
MAGA?
that she can't properly pair bond with me, and then giving her the opportunity
Properly
to
pair
financially
bond.
destroy me.
It's cursed fucking
I
language.
think that would be a bad chess move. And I do believe in marriage. I
Bad
think
chess move?
it would be better if everyone was married. I'm saying that if you're living in a immoral society, being a moral person, if you're not careful about it, you can get wrecked. If the game is rigged, you have to be very careful if you play it. So how do we encourage men to get married? Well, they need to be worth marrying, but so do the women, right? So
don't you think that's just up to individuals to make? Isn't that an analysis that like individual people should make? Like, I personally feel like if you actually want men and women to like be in healthy relationships, then you need to strip away as many social and structural weights that bear down on them to make a decision one way or another on somebody. You need to let them have the other person suit them in a way that is unique to them, not in a way that like, you know, serves a weird like social structure.
good question. I guess some Americans call it the deep state, but I like to look at it in a more global way. When I say the matrix, I think there are certain agendas which are being pushed. I think the media machine and the judicial systems of the world work together hand in hand. I think the goal is to control people's minds to a point where they don't discuss anything that's important. The reason I use the Matrix is because I've watched that movie a few times and it has so many similarities to the... Have you seen the movie?
No.
You've never seen the movie The Matrix?
No, I don't watch any movie.
Tucker.
I don't want to talk about it on camera. No, I'm very dyslexic and it's hard for me to watch video.
Got it.
Honestly.
Understood. But there's so many similarities, and the basic premise is that humans' minds are controlled and put inside of a false reality so that their body heat can be manifested for the machines.
What? Wait, okay, I'm sorry. I was looking to see what this blue MAGA nonsense is. It's just nonsense. Pretend it doesn't exist. Don't look into the darkness.
Good question. I guess some Americans call it the deep state, but I like to look at it in a more global way. When I say the Matrix, I think there are certain agendas which are being pushed.
Not the dude. The Matrix is a movie. You fucking tard. Oh my god.
Work together hand in hand.
Oh my god, you fucking moron.
Control people's minds to a point where they don't.
Oh my god.
The reason
this dude is so.
Is because I've watched that movie a few times and it has
I've watched that movie a few times.
Have you seen the movie?
No.
You've never seen the movie The Matrix?
Does he know that's a trans allegory? Tucker Carlson hasn't seen The Matrix? Dude, conservatives are such fucking losers.
Tucker.
I don't want to talk about it on camera. No, I'm very dyslexic and it's hard for me to watch video.
That's not dyslexia. That's not dyslexia. Oh my god.
There's so many similarities, and the basic premise is that humans' minds are controlled and put inside of a false reality.
Their minds aren't
can be manifested for the machines. And I don't think it's much.
Oh my god. Do I really need to explain The Matrix? Do I actually have to explain The Matrix? They're not mind controlled. They live in a simulation. They live to them it's just the normal regular ass world. It's just dictated by architects. There's no such thing as fate. It's all pre-planned. Oh my god. They're not mind controlled. They're just led to believe. This happens when you don't watch the Animatrix.
Different to reality. Our minds are controlled. We're put in a false version of reality. We're told things that aren't true. We're arguing over things that don't matter. We're observing a false version of events. And the goal of it is just to distract us long enough for our bodies.
So just jump off a fucking building. Just fucking Roblox yourself then. And you'll wake up from the simulation.
And even then, there's a bunch of other similarities which are difficult for me to explain.
Also, part of the Animatrix.
There are agents inside of the Matrix, and the idea of the agent, the purpose of the agent is to make sure that nobody understands how the Matrix really works and to wake anybody's mind up. They want to keep you asleep. And any person can become an agent at any time if they're not unplugged. If their mind is not free, they can become an agent, and their job is to keep you asleep. And you see agents all the time. COVID awoken me to agents. I would sit and talk to somebody, and they seem perfectly rational and normal until I mentioned COVID, and then they'd fully change. No, it's dangerous. No, what do you mean? What do you mean? Are you crazy? My grandma got sick. And they became an agent instantly and started repeating the news to me. And I was like, your grandma got sick. How old is she? 97? Interesting. Oh, I better lock myself in my house then. Dumbass. So,
where's the jump?
agents exist and the Matrix
from,
exists,
like,
and I think most people's version of the world is a false one. The idea and the world that most people have in their mind and how society functions and how all these things function, I genuinely believe is completely false. They've all been lied to. I don't think anybody.
You disappoint me. Fucking never been truer. God. And like, okay. So let's talk about this really briefly. Like, the reason why Andrew Tate and people who like him jump to like, oh, it's all simulation. Oh, it's all a conspiracy. It's all this, it's all that. The reason why people jump to that stuff is the same reason why people jump to religion. And it's because there's I suppose you could say a safety in pretending that the world is that simple, that it's just like, oh yeah, you're just in a simulation and you just need to wake up and you'll suddenly be enlightened to all of the bad things. It's like, it's this one size fit all answer for everything. Why did 9/11 happen? Oh, because global elites wanted to trick Americans so that they could spy on them. Patriot Act stuff, right? And it's like, no, there's like a lot of reasons why. There's any number of like compounding issues between like our training of insurgents during the 90s and 80s. I think it was actually just the 90s. Like the way in which the United States has carried out its operations around the world, pre 9/11, and kind of the flagrant way in which we would coup governments and like fund resistance movements in other countries. Like, it's just like the way we were going about these sorts of things internationally. A lot of it secretly by the CIA and stuff. Like, all of that was eventually going to come and bite us in the ass eventually. You make enough enemies and you train the wrong kinds of people, eventually they're going to turn that training onto you. I think that's pretty like reasonable of a like thought line. But like that, like the problem with that for a conspiracy theorist is it's like that's so many different elements, and it can't come down to one group, to one person, to one thing, to one action. It's just a compounding like cavalcade of thousands of decisions made by multiple people that eventually lead you to any damaging moment at this or that time period, this or that historical event. It's just, the world's really complicated, and like it's easy to just tell yourself, it's just the Matrix, it's just the people controlling us, oh, it's just this, it's just that. But like, you should probably be skeptical of easy answers like that. The Matrix, the deep state, those are easy answers. Why did this bad thing happen? The devil did it. The deep state did it. The communists did it. It's the Matrix. Like, these are all simple answers to complex questions that like give people comfort, because not everybody has time to learn all this stuff. And I get that, but you kind of got to understand where you might not understand it. You might never understand it. It might be something that's just, there's too many factors. Like, there are tons of things I don't understand that like, and that's okay. That's fine. But like, the idea that you're going to create this entire conspiracy web, Matrix, nonsense to like explain all of it. Like, it's just childish. It's just childish. And, and part of this, by the way, a big part of this falls on the heads of mainstream media. While Tucker Carlson and Andrew Tate and a lot of people will deride and bitch about mainstream media, let us be clear. They have not lost the trust of the American people because they are nefarious, because they are in on the deep state Matrix simulation plan. What they are in it for is the money that their advertisers pay them. That's it. That's as simple as it is. They are in the business of making money. They deliver news, and in between that news, they also deliver you advertisements. They deliver you propaganda. They deliver you messaging that just wants you to buy and be a good little consumer. And, you know, that's it. We all, and like some might say, oh, is that a simple answer? Well, I wouldn't say it's a simple answer. There's many factors that go into that, but they operate under a capitalist economic structure to which making money is always the goal. In a way, like, you know, capitalism to a degree is a form of this kind of simple answer. You can always learn more, but at the very least, like capitalism as a shorthand or a short answer for something, there's a lot more to dig there. There's nothing more I can dig with The Matrix. The Matrix is just some nonsense thing, like, because he watched the movie and didn't really get that it's a trans allegory. But yeah, like the Matrix is meant to distract you from the real world system. Capitalism is a real world system. The Matrix is not.
Why do you think support for the war in Ukraine, support for Ukraine's side in the war against Russia, support for a war against Russia in the West, is kind of the bottom line issue for the people who run the U.S. government and for the American media?
Wait, no, but it's not. If war with Russia was a United States military goal, we would just be in war with them. But we don't, because they have nukes. That's like the whole thing. The fact that Russia went and invaded Ukraine is helpful to us because it means we have an avenue to inflict damage to their economy without actually doing anything. We just allow Ukraine to beat them back, and that's how we hurt them. Like, yeah, it's pretty indirect. It's quite simple, really.
Yeah, why? I mean, I guess you could argue about it, but there isn't.
I mean,
an argument
a lot of people
about it in
have.
the United States. There's a position, and anyone who doesn't hold it is attacked and punished. Why? Why is that so important?
Notice he's being unspecific by attacked and punished. Because are people attacked online for being pro-Russia, or at the very least less sympathetic to Ukraine's desire to secure its freedom? Do people get attacked online and get pushback online? Absolutely. Is anybody punished for that? Come on. Ain't nobody's punished for it. Please, spare me. Like every time people want to do this, like, oh, you know, you just can't have this opinion in public. And at the end of the day, I'm like, what are you talking about? There's entire movements that I have to hear about these specific opinions all the fucking time. Like, what do you mean? I have to hear about them all the goddamn time. I always have to hear about anti-Ukraine opinions online. So I don't know what you're fucking talking about. That, you know, you can't have these opinions. Elon Musk will let you have them. Absolutely, he has no problem with that.
Well, the first thing I think we should all do is I think we should all give Putin credit for curing COVID, right? Because when his invasion happened, COVID went away.
Well, no. The talking points around COVID certainly, sunsetted, but that's also because they were already sunsetting. We as a society had already, like, began to not take COVID seriously. And, you know, at the tail end of that, what's funny is, like, this fucking idiot, this fucking testosterone overdose of a man. What's funny is he doesn't seem to understand that, like, the end of one thing and the beginning of another thing doesn't actually mean that there was, like, some kind of relationship there. The closest thing you could argue for a relationship to COVID and the Russian invasion of Ukraine is that COVID happened, shut a lot of commerce down, shut a lot of countries down, shut probably a lot of military bases down. And then as COVID subsided, as numbers began, and keep in mind also, Russia's a pretty big and, from what I understand, not like the most densely populated country in the world. Because of that, you probably saw a bit of a quicker recovery in Russia than you did maybe, say, like the United States. And because of that, because COVID kind of drifted into being endemic, once we had the vaccines and everything else, it was like, all right, well, done with this now, I guess. We have the vaccines. As long as people take the vaccines, I don't know what like Putin's vaccine policy was, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was like any reasonable leader of the military, they would go, no, we need to get all of our troops vaccinated so they don't go dying due to like rampant disease. Like, even if you don't believe COVID, it's better to get them all vaccinated than not. And once it was kind of cleared up to a degree, once people could go move around each other, once people could operate in normal capacity, then Putin seemed to decide, all right, this might be a good time to try that invasion thing I've been manifesting in my chakras for the last couple of decades. So they're not really related. They're just one thing ended, another thing began. They're not. There's almost no relationship to those two.
So
I thought about that.
Think about it. It's almost to the day. So we have to give him some credit at least
To
for
the
doing that.
day
Maybe the
COVID
bad guy of
started
the world,
at
but at
the
least he took
end
COVID
of
for
the
everybody,
year.
nearly instantly.
Fair.
Thank you, President Putin. Yeah, I up until this point never really commented too heavily on politics.
Yes.
But I understand very well. I like to believe what's happening with Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah,
And
December
what
12th.
I will say to the people who are watching this at home is that if you are naive enough to believe that there are good guys and bad guys in wars,
And then
it's
February.
simple as good and bad.
So
and
not
the
even
bad
the year.
guys are crazy, and the good guys want freedom. Then you need to do a little bit more investigation into what's really
Well,
happening.
good guys do want freedom.
When you look at the vested
It is a
interest
value
of
we
any
generally,
country or any
Can I
person,
just ask you to
associated with
pause and
goodness?
just comment. That's the truest thing. What you just said. That is and anyone.
Wait, what was the truest thing you ever said?
a little bit more investigation enough to believe that we're watching this at home is that if
Uh-huh.
you are naive enough to
Uh-huh.
believe that there are good guys and bad guys in wars, and it's as simple as good and bad, and that the bad guys are crazy and the good guys want freedom,
What?
then you need to
Wait. Is this the enlightened position he's come to, that war is a bit complicated? Yeah. Why do you think so many people who want to undermine support for Ukraine constantly want to bring up the Azov battalion? Like, yeah, war is complicated. And like, who you ally yourself with can sometimes be uncomfortable. Like, yeah, there are no good guys in war. Everyone's killing each other. But like, you do what you got to do to survive. And like, we count on history and on like actions of states to determine what's a justified use of force. This is the most basic thing ever. Like, hey, did you guys know that there aren't good guys and there aren't bad guys? That's naive to think that good guys are all good and bad guys are all bad and evil. Like, shit, are you fucking 16? I can see why I can really see why he appeals to 16-year-olds. I can understand it now.
to do a little bit more investigation into what's really
When
happening.
you think that, like,
When you look
learning the
at
first basic thing
the
about
vested interest of any country
wars
or any
between
person,
humans,
Can I
is
just ask
like,
you to pause and just comment? That's the truest thing.
It's the
what you
truth.
just said. That is and anyone who doesn't understand that should shut the fuck up. And I mean it. Having seen war, anyone who's
having seen war, Tucker, Swanson, whatever the fuck else, Carlson, having seen war, with your fucking little shoes, get the fuck out of here. Tucker Carlson has never seen a Call of Duty fucking map, let alone a real war. What a fucking clown. What a fucking clown. God. Jesus. Okay. Well, I don't understand why I do not understand how people find that guy I don't know about motivating. It's mostly just I don't know what I would call it. Like, Andrew Tate just seems like your regular dime store philosopher, who catches the interest of some teenagers who have hardly experienced anything in their life. Like, okay, man, whatever you say. All right, what do we got? Okay, right, what did I say next? Right, the smart gun thing. Okay, do we want to do this like on the side? Or maybe we'll do this, we'll see how far we get, because this is a 30-minute video. So we'll do like a portion of this unless it's like super compelling, but I'm a bit skeptical, and then we'll go from there. How about that? Does that sound good? Okay. In Colorado, there is a company that is developing what is colloquially being called the smart gun. It is probably the most advanced, and I personally, I think the most utilitarian smart gun that we have coming to market anytime really soon. There's a lot of cool safety features on it. I'm a pretty big supporter of gun safety, and anything that gives people more options, I think is always good. Unfortunately, 2A YouTube and a lot of gun rights activists don't exactly align with me on this. To which I want to hear. I'm usually trying. I've watched, I think, maybe one or two other responses to the smart gun. I already have my, you can find my take on my YouTube channel for that. But I have been kind of interested to see what 2A YouTube says, because they, I don't know about a lot of clout, but at the very least, like, they engage with that community rather directly. And I'm like curious to see, because a lot of times you see them, boost up, new dot sights, or, new pistols or whatever. Overall, just new firearm, gear, equipment, actual firearms. And like, that stuff's all well and good. That's educating people on a topic that they want to know. It's giving, there are reviews for guns, just like almost any other hobby, right? And I found it interesting that they've been very resistant to the smart gun. And part of that comes from politics and doesn't really have, I think, a lot of the, I guess you could say, I would think they'd be more supportive of it, or at least interested in it, because it is not like some of the worst smart guns that we've seen in the past. But either way, I want to take a look at a YouTuber by the name of Warrior Poet Society. You might have seen him before. He does like kind of military, I don't even know what to call, like civilian military tactical content, kind of that, like, you weren't in the military but you kind of want to train like you were, and you want to kind of act like you were a little bit. It's a bit cringe to me personally. I get it, we all like action movies and stuff, but like, the LARPing about being in the military is always a bit dangerous to me on the 2A YouTube. But I want to see his kind of take, just because, again, I want to see what people are kind of saying about this. I've come down more in support, but I want to know who people who also talk about guns, or at the very least the people who are driving a lot of gun discourse online, are saying about it.
Welcome back to the John Lovell Show. I'm your host, John Lovell, and as I say it, I get how redundant the whole John Lovell thing is, but you guys get it, right? Today we're talking about smart guns. Are smart guns
totally understand
a good idea? At very first blush, I had a whole bunch of objections, and now I still have a whole bunch of objections.
Okay, we're gonna, because I don't know why I can't.
Welcome back to the John Lovell Show.
There we
I'm your
go.
host, John
Okay,
Lovell,
playback
and as
speed.
I say it, I get how redundant the whole John Lovell thing is, but you guys get it, right? Today we're talking about smart
No,
guns.
we'll do
Are smart
125.
guns a good idea? At very first blush, I had a whole bunch of objections, and now I still have a whole bunch of objections. Ben is in studio, and he's more sweet on him than I am.
Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. I like that.
Talk about some of those objections. We're going to be looking at kind of the forerunner for the smart guns out there, and we'll dive into some of that and its features, some of the stuff that I've learned, and kind of go through some possible pros. My point in this video isn't to take a hard stance for or against. Rather, I'm feeling my way through objections, and as these guns do exist and they're going to be rolling out here in the months to come, I want you armed with a bunch of things already floating around your head to see, hey,
I like the
does
idea.
this meet the objections and kind of what you would give it a thumbs up for? And so this video should be good. Let's go ahead and start it, guys.
Also, by the way, I want to say, I said earlier, I like people having choices. That's kind of my take for the smart gun technology. At the end of the day, more safety options for people, I think, is good. There are going to be people who are like, 2A adjacent, who will say, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? There's all of these things that can go wrong. I think, and this is just me, owning any firearm, you accept a certain level of risk. And I do think that, like, a smart gun reduces risks in some ways and doesn't in other ways. and has its own unique dangers, the same way owning any firearm has its own unique dangers. But I think like the individual and the individual consumer should be the one who's making that decision of like, am I comfortable with this? If I am, cool. If I'm not, then that's okay too. But like, I don't want to see, what I'm looking for in this is a like flat out rejection of the utility or of even like the allowance for this to be an option for people. Because I think this should, if unfettered gun access is what these people want, then they should be okay with this, to be at the very least like ideologically consistent. All right, come on.
There's been a bunch of stabs at making the next new smart gun. This has been in the works for, I don't know, 5-10 years. People have been trying to do this, and now I think there's one that's at least a lot better than the rest that I have seen. It's BioFire. It is a purpose-built gun, really with home defense in mind, and the whole idea is you can have this out ready to grab it.
Bro, the fact that it's like right there is kind of wild. But like that's the thing, right?
So
it's like right there. Like it is such open access, and it's like, yeah, like I can have it safely around my family and I have no issues whatsoever.
A kid grabbing this gun, it's not going to work, or a bad guy grabbing this gun, it's not going to work either. And so that's the big idea. You see in this little video, you just got it chilling on a nightstand or by the front door, and you can grab it and go. And so that's really the idea. And Heath, you with us, man? That's fairly distracting.
I'm just enjoying the incredibly addictive and revolutionary design.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Jesus, the amount of ads on some of these channels.
Objections that in researching the BioFire gun, I was able to really get some of the answers. And so some of those objections have already been assuaged and others still remain. First off, Ben, what do you think about these smart guns in general?
All right, honestly, they are going to sell 1 billion of these pistols. Every suburban mom and every small pickup driving man is going to buy one of these.
Got it.
I don't know.
I'm not so
I don't know about that, but I think the suburban mom part, yeah, absolutely. This would I definitely think this could be something that's viable for the more suburbanite type.
Oh man, they're going to buy stock now.
I don't know if that's good. I mean, I do think this because my my interests when it comes to gun legislation are around safety. I like this as a safety option. Because I don't really think many people are going to be ending up using this in a defensive manner. So for me, it's totally fine. It means that the gun can be there for defensive purposes. That probably won't happen. And nobody else is going to get hurt by it. Kids won't accidentally shoot themselves or each other, which is good.
Why do you think that these are going to sell so well?
It is answering a problem that mainstream media has convinced society that we have. And this is a solution.
Got it. I think that this might be a solution seeking a problem.
Oh, all right.
So they're already getting spicy out of the gate. Ben, I think you're wrong. And this is why. This is one of the first reasons why. I'm like, okay, I've got this gun and I can pick it up and it's got all these circuits and sensors and whatnot. And I pick this up and it reads my ID, whether it's facial recognition or it's my fingerprint.
Yep.
And now the gun. But rather than have that, we already have biometric safes. They're far more economical. They're extremely secure. And now I don't have to have my gun out in the open. So here, for instance, that's one by Voltec. You put your finger.
Well, yeah, but this one, it doesn't matter if it's out in the open. The out in the openness is actually irrelevant in this regard. That is a nice case, though.
And now you have the normal.
Although I don't like the Glock in there because Glocks are kind of gross.
Here is a video of one of these in action. This can mount on a bedside stand or under a desk or something else.
Yeah, but there
it is by a bedside table. And basically, you just put your fingerprint on this. Like so, and voila, it opens up. And you don't have to have some weird new space tech gun. And it's just a gun. That's going to work really well. So I really like this gun right here. But
yeah, but then all somebody needs to do is get your fingerprint, and then boom. You don't think kids know how to get that? You don't think there's some kid out there who's like, all right, I know what to do. I'm gonna when my dad puts his glass down, I'm gonna take the tape and do the tape trick. You don't think they're gonna try that? And then what happens? Then they accidentally shoot themselves. This is again is this for everybody? No, but again, it's an option, and I do think it's an option where I don't have to drill fucking holes into one of my desks or my nightstand and fucking install this into that.
Why not just have a normal gun with a biosafe? Why wire it into the gun and risk compromising the internal mechanics of this, and also drive the gun price up by multiple times? Of the gun right now, what is this gun weighing in at MSRP?
About $1,500.
$1,500. So you could get a normal gun, $500. that biometric safe that pops out costs 150. Oh, I'm $650 in, and now I don't have to risk having something goofy happen to my gun.
Well, the counter to what you just said is this. It's a good point.
Also, if you're getting the safe's like a couple $100, and then the gun's like, depending on what you're getting, this is kind of like an all-in-one case where you're not, it's an all-in-one. It's not buy the safe, buy the gun, buy the this, buy the that, install it, do that, do this.
Point, but here's the counter. Let's say a thief gets a hold of your gun. Let's say the thief absconds with your nightstand and your thing. Every safe, as you know, it can eventually be opened. And so the thing with this gun is the gun can still not be opened and usable. So it could be stolen and it's inert.
Right, but you put a pig on a spit for a thief. They see a gun chilling there and they grab that, like they may steal your iPhone, which they can't crack, but later they can crack it because the old adage of like, hey, no safe is uncrackable and no gun will be uncrackable too. If you can jailbreak a cell phone, you can jailbreak one of these guns too. And so now you have a gun.
Well, also the thing is, like, the way that it like connects also seems like proprietary tech. So you would have to be, if you're like a robber, you would have to have like the whatever the software is to jailbreak that. And I don't think and people who are burglarizing houses are not fucking hackers. They're looking for like expensive items to sell to like, or like they're looking for jewelry and gold to sell to like a gold guy. But they're just looking for items to pawn off. Like that's kind of it. What they're not looking for. They're not hackers. Burglars aren't hackers. Hackers are hackers. Hackers aren't going to even come to your house. They all live in basements and weigh like 300 pounds or something because all they do is eat pizza and hack stuff. I don't know. I don't know what hackers do these days.
Quick access biometric safe. Now the gun is biometric, and you display it out for your kids to just see if like they can pick it up and grab it, just like a thief could just grab it. And now when a kid grabs this gun, you'd be like, oh, it's okay, it's safe, and I'd return you to the universal firearm safety rules. I'll always treat every gun as if they're loaded, know the condition of your gun. And so here you could say, well, it can't fire. I'm like, well, I could say you have a external safety on a gun and it can't fire, and it'd still be inappropriate for me to point it at anyone else. And so what's to keep a kid from picking this gun up, albeit it should not work, and pointing it around? So like, I find it
yeah, but that's no different. The difference here is that like it's functionally more safe than if your kid does that with your regular gun. If a child does that with your normal gun, you are in like, you are in danger. If a child does it with your gun, with this gun, you are not like, you're not in danger, and at the very least you can then have, that's a teachable moment. Both situations happen and are teachable moments, but like one of them is markedly more dangerous than the other.
Appropriate to leave a gun chilling out for a thief to grab or a kid to just pick up and play with.
And so your fear is that it will become a casual item, like an everyday item that is not given the respect due that it should as a firearm because it's biometrically safe. Is that one of your fears with it?
I think kids are going to pick them up and play with them.
Yeah.
Because they can. It's just chilling right there.
I mean, they will
say, but the safety works really well.
But they're gonna do that with regular guns. The danger is eliminated. The goal is to eliminate the danger.
Inappropriate to leave it out for a child to just pick up. I'd rather have it.
I would also mostly agree with this. Again, you shouldn't do that. But like,
not really passing sole judgment, though. As I'm getting more impassioned, it sounds like I am. But really, I want to see where these go because I can imagine some other instances of like, I think about it like a prison guard. Could you imagine a prison guard, surrounded by bad guys all the time, and he's got a gun on him, and maybe that's, a biometric thing. And so if a bad guy grabs a gun, he can't use it on him. And so I'm like, I like
that's
that.
actually a really good use
in the
case.
That suffers mental health issues, and you want to have a
this is like the big one.
Buffer,
because keep in mind, okay, so this is a big one. Keep in mind the number one, the number one use case for like unnecessary firearm deaths, or like I should say the suicides are the like top way in which we count gun violence in America, right? Like mass shootings make up a small percentage of gun violence in the country. Suicides make up the largest amount. This would address that issue to a very large degree, mainly because a lot of people who are suffering from those kind of mental health issues probably don't have $1,500 to just go and like buy one of these things. Most likely you're going to need a good job. You're going to probably be like more of an adult that like you're going to be able to afford this kind of weapon, right? Whereas if you're like if you're having those kinds of feelings, it only costs you a couple $100s to get you a really shitty Glock, and that's it. You're done. Couple $100, you could throw it on a credit card, you'd be fine. But you don't have that ability if it's like as expensive as it is, and if there's no physical ability to use it to harm yourself or others. So there also is that element too.
Between them and anything that.
But now I'm back to biometric safe.
Yeah, a biometric safe, I suppose. I guess maybe this is.
You could definitely crack a child with enough time could crack a
in
biometric
that,
safe.
In that reel, it's out and
you know.
proud on the shelf, and perhaps they're making a very pro Second Amendment shift with this. That we want to have the gun as an everyday item that everybody should see and become familiar and used to.
See, you mentioned Second Amendment.
There's also
To
that. There's
advertise
also
Second
that element.
Amendment, to the masses, it wouldn't be like, come inside my house and look, I've got a gun chilling on display, and I got to have a 20-minute conversation why kids can pick that up or whatnot. And man, I just don't feel very comfortable about that. But when it comes to another objection regarding Second Amendment, is what in the world is the government going to do when this tech, which looks pretty benign, it's like,
Okay, and this is the conspiratorial section that I never like, because it's always like what do we do, and it's like, well, wait a minute, this isn't funded by the government. There is not government funding going behind this. This is a very small company. So like, it'd be one thing if this was like a government created, if this was Boeing or somebody else that was being asked to develop this by the US government. It's not. This is a private technology.
See the pluses. I'm like, wait until government figures out a good way to pirate in a bunch of new legislation on this. If like once bioguns
Also, why
exist
would they?
or have any amount of traction, they say, well, all guns need to have these safety mechanisms. And now it becomes this awful way of like, all guns are illegal now except these, and they're cost prohibitive.
Also,
which
a lot
allows
of that's
anti-gunners to have
proprietary
a new,
technology.
economic way to disincentivize people from getting guns, which really punishes folks on lower incomes specifically. But that really, and then what happens when they make these things wireless? This one isn't a wireless thing, so as of the BioFire, it's not like uplinking to the internet or anything. But what happens when they say, and now it links up to the internet, and look at all these pros that you have? But it could also allow a government regulating agency to be able to just shut off all your guns, or it has some electronic.
Yeah, like this is conspiratorial, and I understand this, but this is one of those, you address that when it comes up. Like we cannot reject, like the idea that you would reject like technological advances because you're worried that the government is going to one day use it. It's like, well, then we can't do anything, can we? Like under that pretense, we like, you shouldn't be able to buy a lot of the tactical gear that you can buy at gun shows, but you can, and that's perfectly fine. I just feel like a lot of this is what's the word? I'm trying to think of the word. It is conspiratorial, but it's more alarmist, I think.
Registry, so that you know exactly who's got what. And so
yeah, and it's always like a fear of the registry, which I've never understood. You have to register your car. There's no reason why you shouldn't have to register your firearms.
Right now, but they will. They always do.
And to your point, they have already tried to do that.
Have they?
Yeah, Joe Biden mentioned it in the Democratic committee before he became president. He mentioned it there in 2002.
Yeah, and have they done anything about it? No, because Joe Biden's not really a gun rights. He doesn't really give a shit.
New Jersey actually had a law on the books that said, when this works, we're going to mandate that this is the only guns you can have in our state. It got taken off the laws, but
in 2019. 2019.
Even well, this one goes all the way back to 2002.
No way.
Yes. Wow. So yeah, they will do that.
Well, let me run through some more because I've got a whole list of stuff. I do want to say of like,
why the video like lag? Wait a minute, I have this downloaded.
Thing that could save some.
What are we
kids
at?
From
10 minutes and 17 seconds. Didn't I download this? Am I crazy? Oh, this is a different one. 10 minutes. 17. Okay, sorry. 10 minutes.
We'll do that.
Well, let me run through some more because I've got a whole list of stuff. I do want to say of like, hey, this may be a thing that could save some kids from accidentally getting shot. And for that, I'd be really a big fan of that. The last thing I ever want is a tool that's meant to protect kids falling into their hands,
which is the majority of what the majority of like accidental shootings.
So, for instance, the CEO and founder, I was watching a video just in preparing for this this video today. I was talking about the #1 cause of death of kids is accidental is firearms.
Yep.
And I'm like, whoa, that is so wildly inaccurate.
No. So what he's going to say, or what I'm assuming he's going to say, is he thinks that the guy who what he thinks they're quoting is the number for mass shootings, which like it is kind of true, but the actual thing that's killing kids is suicides by firearm. That's the actual thing that's happening. Suicides far outpace mass shootings.
I get that that's peddled, but really what goes into that humongous number of gun deaths toward kids, they're putting all gang violence in there. Of like suicide deaths, all these deaths,
Yes,
which clearly aren't the number that they're advertising is packed in there. There's a proper.
Also, like, gang deaths are not going to come. Like, I don't even think gang deaths are as close to suicides. Suicides is the largest plurality of deaths of young people due to guns.
Number. Here's my friend Cleon Noir debunking this hardcore. Here you go.
The number of unintentional gun deaths is
We've already watched this. This dude's got brainworms. He just said what I said, which is, yep. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, circumstances, yep. Playing with a gun, 28, believing the gun was not loaded, 17. So, yeah. The thing I said. People who shouldn't be handling guns, yep.
Year for kids. So it's not the tens of thousands that you're led to believe. When you boil it down, it's only a few hundred deaths, and those the unintentional. Now, some folks will say, well, even if it prevents one death, then everyone should do that. And this is just such a stupid argument. Please don't make this. Understand.
Well, it's
even
also a
one death
consumer
is
item.
too many.
I think
don't
people should
want
have the
those to happen.
options.
And I think, parents locking up guns and bios.
I definitely think people should,
like this, or under lock
like,
and key,
consumers should be able to make that decision for
and
themselves.
raising your kids in a good, healthy way, and making sure the neighborhood miscreant kids aren't coming in and
the
being left
neighborhood
unattended
miscreant
when you
kids.
got guns available in the house. And so there's lots of stuff that we could do to educate, to eliminate those deaths for sure. But just saying, here's a new piece of tech.
Also, from a cultural level, the United States and our gun culture just isn't that interested in safety. Like a lot of them talk about it, and they all like preface everything with it, but like there isn't a culture around like, hey, you need to be safe with this. Like there just isn't. That like a lot of gun culture in the United States is all about like protecting my property and my family and stuff like that. It's just, I don't find it to be that compelling of an argument to say like, oh no, people are already like as safe as they can be. No, they're not. If they were, we wouldn't see this many accidental deaths.
Let's make a massive regulation. Let's change the world so that we can eliminate a few hundred deaths. Just isn't very realistic. And you have to account for is how many of these guns, these bio guns might fail or some difficulty arises and you died because of some glitch in your computer circuitry, which would have been saved. Of like everything you do, socioeconomically, whatever, everything you do, may save some lives and cost some others, right? And the whole argument of if it only saves one death or if it only saves one life, then we should do it. Well, speeding kills people. And so let's lower all the interstate speed limits from 70 to 25 miles per hour. You're going to save a lot of lives. So everyone's riding 25 miles per hour now on because it may save one life. Of like, you're better still, vehicle accidents. People die from vehicle accidents. Outlaw vehicles. We're just walking everywhere. No price is too high if it means we could save even one person. See, this is a argument reductio ad absurdum. It's a slippery slope argument. Don't fall for it. The stats on how many kids are actually dying from firearms in a home each year is incredibly low. Let's work through education and
keep in mind the numbers are low. Like the raw numbers are low. It's the percentages that are that people usually what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Are concerned with. We can take a look at this article from Pew Research poll. The rise in gun deaths among children and teens is part of a broader recent increase in firearm deaths among Americans overall. In 2021, there were 48,830 gun deaths among Americans of all ages, by far the highest yearly total on record and up to 23% from 39,707 recorded in 2019 before the pandemic. Total number of gun deaths with children and teens in 2021 includes homicides, suicides, accidents, and all other categories where firearms are listed on the death certificates as the underlying cause of death. It does not include deaths where firearms are listed as the contributing but not underlying cause of death. Homicide with the largest single category. Let's see, gun deaths among U.S. kids are homicides. Oh, wait, I didn't know that. Wait, whoa. I was under the impression that it wouldn't have been homicides. Homicides are the largest single category of gun deaths among children, 18 or younger. Okay. And teens, 2021, according to 6% of the total of the year. It was followed by suicides, 32%. Okay, so keep in mind. Okay. I can actually shift my argument, but I actually don't think that really changes it all that much. So, 32%. If you're telling me that we could reduce that 32% down to to somewhere in the single digits, maybe even, maybe low, maybe 10 to anything lower, I think that's a meaningful change. I actually do. I think that's worth investigating as as something we should be interested in. Absolutely. especially if it's accidents. Is there? This is just the raw number. I don't need the raw number. But yeah, either way, like if we can reduce the suicide number, that's enough for me. That's what that is more than enough for me. And that accident number, God, both of these, that accident number would be almost completely gone. In the suicide number, you would see a huge reduction. And again, that's if we saw broad adoption. But you know, we'd have to see. Like the place where I want to see an impact of this is in Massachusetts. Massachusetts has some really strong gun laws. So if the smart gun becomes like adopted in a bunch of states, I want to see what the impact it has on Massachusetts, which doesn't have as much gun deaths as a lot of other states do.
And extra safety measures to do this, but I don't accept a bio gun as this magic bullet per se to all of a sudden wipe that out. You're going to cause a bunch of problems and possibly solve some other problems because that's just the way of
Yeah, it's all about the trade-offs.
I have more objections though. Let's go on.
You hate science. It's because you hate science, right?
I'm a Luddite curmudgeon.
Yeah.
If it's new, I hate it. No, truth be told, as the world becomes far more technologically advanced with the advent of these larger language models and AI and whatnot, the more that happens, the more I like spending time outside with my family. The more I like my farm,
I know.
physical books.
Okay, so it's just that. So it's not that you hate space guns and you're against science and you hate the bio gun.
How do you hate
have
space
some
guns?
legitimate cons
Space
here.
guns are so
Next
cool.
time you see me, I'll be horse and buggy wearing traditional Amish garb.
Going 25.
I'm going that direction. I'm your Luddite curmudgeon. It's new. I hate it. No, I do have some honest objections. I've already listed some of them. Here's some more stuff of what if this biocheck fails? Now, right now, it has a facial recognition. So on the back of the gun, when you present, it'll look at your face and be like, all right, green light, you're good to go. You can shoot now. Also on the grip, it will tag your fingerprint. And if it's the right fingerprint, now you can shoot. Now, things can go wrong with this. I also wondered, oh, it's got a battery. What if the battery fails? Well, it's made to work in like a docking station. So the battery thing doesn't seem like it's going to be an issue. So that objection was passed for me. Fingerprint. Well, what if your hands are sweaty, which is immediately going to happen when you get scared? What if your hands are bloody? What if you just got a smudge?
Your hands are bloody? What are you? Okay.
And hit it right. Well, the fingerprint thing fails. I'm like, that's why we have the facial recognition one, which is a redundancy. Well, what if I pick it up and I don't immediately point so that it can read my face? Instead, anybody with a gun, remember, don't point a gun at anything you don't intend to destroy.
Right.
I grab it, responding to that bump in the night, and I've got it like a low ready. So it's not tracking my face. And, someone's got a little trigger creep or whatever, or their head.
Well, I don't know if that. First of all, cameras, especially these days, especially biometric cameras, are actually really good. Even if you drew and we're holding in like in a weight in like in a holding stance, like you would still, the minute, like I think they've demonstrated this, as you bring it up, it's still gonna scan you either way because it senses that somebody's holding it, and it's going to begin that scan the second that you bring it up. And the response time is pretty quick. I think the facial recognition is actually a good
scenario where neither one
redundant
of those checks actually
thing.
In real
Redundancy
world. Maybe on
built in.
range and you're just
Built-in
playing around and
redundancy.
you're kind of working with it and looking at it, works every time. But Murphy shows up in the midst of the scary fight. What if it's dark? Well, the sensor has
It's infrared.
like an IR capability. So even if it's dark,
it's an infrared
it should
camera.
still be able to recognize your face. So anyway, as I'm looking at the tech, I'm like, man, they really thought through some stuff here.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's perfect. And you can't lead me to believe if like I just grab and go like it's a normal gun and I count on it 100% of the time to work in that harried, frenzy, frantic, dark, chaotic event.
And like, keep in mind, this is like the event that he's describing is also so incredibly marginal, like incredibly marginal, highly incredibly marginal. Like no normal American goes through these like fucking like home invasion John Wick moments. It's just not a thing that we see a lot of. And if that happens, if your house is being if somebody's burglarizing your home, like, I know this isn't the cool thing to say, and I know that there are going to be people who are going to be like, oh, that's some like pussy shit. But here's the real answer. If your home is being burglarized, collect your family, lock and barricade the room you're in, call the police. Those are the things you do. Maybe grab like one thing to like, one physical, if you have a gun, grab it. If you have like a baseball bat, grab that. But like, that's it. Call the cops, barricade your house, or barricade the room you're in. That's it. That's all you have to do. But like, the problem is there's so many people who like, to them, that's a affront to their masculinity. It's an affront to their pride, and they let their pride get in the way of that. And when that happens, we get stories like, the dad who heard something rustling around downstairs. He goes down, he sees somebody in the kitchen, he shoots them. It's his daughter who wanted to surprise them from college. Like, and that's like an anecdote. That doesn't happen all the time, or even most of the time. But those are the kind of situations where it's like, yeah, like if people had a less, specifically Americans, I think, had a less extreme response to stuff like this, then we wouldn't see stories like that, and we wouldn't need to talk about gun ownership like it is always a life or death thing, because it's just not. Gun ownership is not always just about you defending your family from a burglary or something. There's just I miss when gun ownership was just about like shooting because you like shooting. Like that's all it was. But we've talked a little bit about the history of that.
And so, you switch hands, you got to get a new fingerprint thing. If you release your grip on it, if you put it down, or say I'm doing an out of battery stoppage. Well, now I'm going to twist the gun in such a way that the lasers that are interacting with your hand will deactivate my fingerprint code.
No,
and then when I
won't.
come back, no, it will. When you can shift it around in your hand. I watched Ian with Forgotten Weapons doing this.
Yeah.
But if in an out of battery stoppage, I'll turn the gun completely so that it's twisted in my hand, so I can push up on the slide stop lever.
Okay.
And I believe, and I don't have one. I believe when you do that, it's going to deactivate it.
Because it's got two sensors on the back strap and the front that are gauging movement in the hand. So it might still stay activated in your hand. If you switch hands, I know for sure that kills it. But
it remains to be seen. I'm thinking the way I clear a out of battery stoppage, it's going to shut it down. I'm going to have to reactivate. But coming out of that, I wouldn't go to put my
Wait, but if it switches hands, it's just going to take your infrared face again.
fingerprint on it again. I would go straight to the trigger because I'm in a gunfight. That's why it happened. And so that's just something, nothing huge, but I'm like, I'm wondering. I'm suspending judgment and just saying, I have reservations. I don't know. One day I'm going to get my hands on one of these, and then I can do a follow-up video and be like, hey, I had these objections, and now I learned this, and now I know better. But as it stands, I'm not so sure. For Ian at Forgotten Weapons, he's a YouTuber. He got to go to
Forgotten Weapons is pretty cool.
BioFire's facility and saw it all, and he was really excited about it. And I was amazed when he picked it up at the range, just picking it up and pointing, it immediately got his face ID, and he was able to shoot. And I'm like, that worked better than I thought it would. Good job.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I don't know whether it was tracking his fingerprint or his face or both, but I would have thought it wouldn't have worked as good as it did.
It didn't look clumsy. It did not look clumsy. It looked sharp and active. And everything's riding on that for BioFire. If they don't get that right, it's a dud.
Guys, check out Ian at Forgotten Weapons on this gun.
This is true. Do that. That's a really good channel. An actual really good firearms education channel. Okay, we're gonna stop this for now. Maybe we'll pick this up next week to finish off the last. It's only 10 minutes. So that we can play the spooky game. That sound good to everybody? I hope it does, because I've already made the decision that that's what we're going to be doing. So if it doesn't sound good to you, then I don't know. Deal with it. I don't know. Anyway, sure. What were we gonna play? Oh wait, do I not have it on here? No, here it is. Oh wait, yes, here it is. Why is it always asking me to open Steam? That felt very loud. Wasn't too bad, it looks like. We'll go to here. Yeah, that sounds. That seems good. Okay. Close this. Close this. Oh right, I need to make this windowed full screen. Oh wait, window. Excuse me? Oh, okay, it worked. Cool. There we go. There we go. I just want you to be in windowed mode, or at the very least, windowed full screen. That was an option, right? Is it this one? There we go, windowed full screen. Okay, cool. All right, so this is. There it is. Apply settings. Yes. This is No One Lives Under the Lighthouse. If I remember correctly, I forget if this is a Papa Combo adjacent game. I think it is, though. I could have sworn it was. But, yeah, let's get into it, shall we? Light. Oh. Straight into it. All right. Okay. Whoa, 1 second. Whoa, chill out. Whoa. Chill out there. Chill out. Okay, let me. Good gravy. What was I looking for? No, get rid of this. Let me do that just to do the stream thing. Cool. Now we're done. All right, let's get into it, shall we? Oh, red maybe. White feels good. Christ, that's dark. Okay. All right. Oh my God, that's like good enough. Hello. Fuck, dude. Wow, that's fucking loud. Hi? Can I? Oh, it's E. Okay. Oh. Fuck this. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Hi. Hell. I don't like that. Please don't jump scare me. Okay. Okay. Cool. The fuck was that? That was not me. Oh, was that this? Oh. Huh? Oil? Huh? How do I... Oh, okay. Well, this is obviously oil. Okay. I don't... Christ, this is the loudest... Well, at least I have a light now. Oh, boy. Hello? Hello? Oh, do I need to, like, hold it? Okay. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, enough of that. Do I need to, like... Oh, it's not on. Okay. Maybe I need to... Wait, huh? Oh, this is the door to outside. Okay, no, I'm stupid. Okay. Never mind. Okay. Where's the hole? Oh. Is this what I need to do? Oh, okay. Guess not. Uh-huh. I don't even... Okay. I don't know what the fuck that even is. Do I just hold this down for... Oh, it's pulling a rope. Okay. Is it moving? Oh, cool, it's moving now. Yes! Success. Okay, cool. I don't... Okay, cool. Is it... Captain Krabs? Okay, I guess... Do I have an inventory? No. Doesn't seem like I have an inventory. I don't even know what the fuck this thing is. Okay, well, maybe I needed to pick something up from the other, from the room down there, maybe? Oh, okay, that's, okay, right, it's pulling, do I have a sprint in this game? Oh, you don't. Oh, that's weird. Oh boy. Oh, wait, huh? Oh, never mind, I can't go in there. I didn't even notice that door the first time. Okay, yeah, wait, how do I... okay, yeah. Oh. Oh, okay, I was right. Okay, okay, cool. Hi? Hi? I'm coming. Calm down. Sheesh. Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry. Oh, I need to... Shit, okay. Where's the thing? Okay, we have the thing. Huh? Oh, wait. There we go. Alright, 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 alright. Okay, cool. Oh, buddy. Oh, yeah. This is giving me real... I mean, like, obviously, it's about a lighthouse. But this does give me real the lighthouse eerie vibes. That was a good movie. I really liked that movie. Previous keeper disappeared. Uh-huh. I suppose he ran away on a boat, left the duty of the bastard. Now here's no one on the island. Okay, cool. Except for me. Now it's gonna fall to me, huh? But ye look like ye know the job, do ya? You shouldn't light the lamp on the evening and should keep it working until sunrise. You also should keep the lamp to clean all around, especially something arg. The establishment will I need an assistant soon. I will get back here in a week. A week? Good luck, don't lose your mind from the loneliness. Lovely. Cool. That's good to know. That's good to know. Oh, I did not realize. Oh, I'm already. Bye, PlayStation 1 man. Okay, well. Hello, PS1 birds. Well. Can I? Okay, now I can sprint. As a boat. Okay, cool. Good. All right. Okay. This way seems good. Ooh, okay. Gotta love the American Northeast. Oh, we got a thing here. Oh. Okay, cool. I have no fucking clue what that's supposed to be. Oh, it's really fucking dark in here. There's a rope. There's a ladder. Alright, cool. Good to know. Get me the fuck out of here. Fuck that. Okay. Fuck that. Alright. Well, you see, we be staying at this here lighthouse. Oh, is the lighthouse keeper? Oh, okay. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, there we go. Oh, nice. We got a oil slick for some reason. Lovely, lovely. Looks like some meat. Good, good, good. Some books. Oh. A really creepy looking picture. Oh, okay. Something's supposed to be there. Don't know what though. Got the lighthouse key. We got a book with some scribbles on it. Lovely. I like how we just got a picture of a naked baby. Lovely. Oh. Oh. It's like, okay. Oh, what is this? Fucking Resident Evil keys? Christ. Alright, well. Oh, Jesus Christ. It got dark fast. Okay. Oh, lovely. I guess let's get back into the lighthouse, shall we? I don't know, I guess kind of retrace our steps here a bit. I'll take this. Oh, the oil thing isn't there, but that's okay. Okay, that's... Whoa! Dude, every fucking time I keep thinking these little windows are like a ghost or something. Keeps fucking me up. Okay. No, I don't want the music. Maybe I won't have to go into that awful basement. There we go. Alright, is she functioning? No, she's not functioning. Oh, there it is. Really? Fine. God damn it. See, now I'm gonna have to go into that room and it's gonna try and spook me. Don't you dare fucking spook me, video game. I trust you. Oh, you know, my dumbass was about to say it too. It feels darker than usual. Where's the... There it is. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Got that. Light. Let's go. Alright, good. Good, 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 good. Good, good, every fucking time. Alright, the thing. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. There we go. There we go. Phenomenal. We did our job. Night 1, done. Amazing. Oh, is this... Okay. Oh, the boat? Okay. Oh. Huh? So don't investigate the boat is what I'm. Oh, okay, cool. Oh my God, is that me? Look at me. A good looking chap right there. Look at that guy. Oh, oil slick again. Interesting. Well, there we go. All right. Well, night 1 done. Can I eat food? Is that a thing I can do in this game? Got some water. All right. Well, we're a little bit over time, but yeah. All right, we got night 1 done so far. Creepy. Maybe we should start with the video game next time. I don't know. I haven't really decided. Either way though. All right. That's going to be it for me tonight. Let's see. Anything? Let's see. Do I have any notes for next week? Not that I can think of. Oh, most likely we will not have a show on Thursday because Barbie and Oppenheimer come out. So, gonna go watch that Thursday night. One of those two. Still don't know which one. Other than that, yeah. If you enjoyed any of what you saw, maybe you learned something, maybe you heard a talking point or a argument that you haven't before, or if you just like lurking in chat, you should hit the follow button if you're on Twitch. It really helps out the channel, helps me out. If you're over on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, also does the same thing. It also just, you know, it makes you a cool person to do those things. You know, it's just a cool thing to do these days. It's what people are doing in 2023. Otherwise, I am done for the week. I'll be back Monday with with whatever news happens between now and then. Either way, you all have yourselves a lovely evening, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.